Coda. How long can you hold the note for? It's, you still... Is this in the original song? I mean, I knew Celine was talented, but
This is what it sounds like to fight Polyphemus in Hades 2.
yeah, see,
This flute going crazy.
that's true. I thought the flute went crazy. I didn't know it was like one continuous
Like,
note.
I think so.
If you don't leave the room and just stay there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hello everybody. Welcome to a rare twice weekly stream from me and my number one fan.
Hi, guys.
Mark is here to stream with.
Hey, I'm Lauren. What's up, guys?
Thanks for being here. We're here to talk to you about a separate passion of ours, different from the game. I guess we literally did started the stream talking about video games, but
Yeah, well, you know.
but we're not going to be playing any video games today. We're just going to be talking at you, and you're allowed to respond in the chat if you want to, but it's not required, and I won't acknowledge them at all. So.
Oh, I'll acknowledge them.
I'm just kidding. Of course, we love viewer feedback. Okay, tell us if we're spitting too much in the microphone, or if one of our hairs is sticking up and making us look awkward. That would be really appreciated.
Yeah, as a former number one fan in the chat, the artist formerly known as Monkey436. I'm really excited to see what it's like on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, you're in the room.
Oh, I'm in the room with
How does it smell?
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, that's not good.
So, well, you asked. You should not have started there.
No, I was hoping it was positive, or at least neutral. But
okay, we'll go with neutral.
iDrake says D&D got canceled, so we out here.
Yo,
Let's go. All right.
What's up, iDrake?
F D&D. That's what I have to say.
Whoa.
I'm more of a GURPS guy.
That's not true in my experience.
Bro, okay, you're right. I don't like any game systems.
On main, but here we are.
That's great. Can you get the microphone a little closer to your face?
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna be used to. We're rocking the Rock Band mic. Thank you, iDrake, and we got our Konami mic, and they are very quiet. So I gotta put them right up next to my face. I think I'm gonna be forgetting to do that the whole rest of the stream. So
yeah, you gotta let us know if you can't hear us.
Yes, and I think the network weirdness has subsided, but again, let me know if it's getting too crazy. But otherwise, yes, we're here not to talk about video games or to talk about anything else. Our banter's gonna keep going if we don't stay on track. So we're here to talk about movies. Last year, Lauren and I saw, what did we come up with? I think mine was 51 movies from 2025.
Two, I'm guessing, because I saw 57.
Oh yes,
my final count is 57. New movies that released last year that we saw either in theaters or some of them at home, but all new releases that we saw for the first time last year.
And I kind of feel like this is maybe one of my best years of watching 2025 or a year's worth movies. Especially when the Oscar nominations came out, I was very happy. I felt like I was pretty on top of the ball. There was only a couple movies that I had the opportunity to see and missed, and I'll maybe go back to see.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And then, of course, I see our friend Jack, and he lists his, movies that he saw last year, and he's literally doubled the number of movies.
Oh, I'm sure.
And he's been to, I think he went to 3 different film festivals this year. I did not end up going to any last year, so, but it was a great way to take the wind out of my sails. I was oh my God.
Feeling pretty good, right?
There's always somebody cooler than you, as Ben Folds once said.
Oh, did he say that? All right.
So smile like you've got nothing to prove. So thanks for being here. We're here not to talk about all 57 movies that.
No, that would be a lot. And a lot of them are just like, fine. So we're just here to talk about the creme de la creme, as they say.
I was looking and it's like, I've got like a few movies that I hated.
Yeah.
And I've got a good handful of movies I really liked.
Yep.
But most of the movies are in the middle of the pack. Almost more than half of the movies I feel like I saw last year are like, It was okay. Some are at least interesting, and maybe we'll talk about them later.
Hmm.
But there are also some where it's like don't have anything to say about this.
Right. A
I
lot of just like
almost
three
regret.
star, middle of the road movies. Fine. Nothing wrong with them, but they don't do anything special. I'm looking
Yeah,
for something
yeah,
special,
yeah,
you know? And that for me is what separates the good from the great.
yes. So we're here to talk about the great. We're
Hmm.
here to talk about our top 10 is
Hmm.
what we're going to be starting off with here. We'll see how much time we have to talk about any other movies, how much stamina we might have to
Yeah.
talk about any other
We'll start with
movies.
the top 10.
But yes, want to talk about the top 10, our favorite movies that we saw last year that we want to advocate for, get the word out, or
This
just
is our grassroots movement.
yes, exactly.
Grassroots movement. We're getting the word out.
Yep.
These are the movies. If you haven't seen any movie this year, you should see some of these ones because we're going to tell you some good ones to check out.
I agree.
We'll have some good recommendations for you. So, yeah.
We'll be describing the movies as well as talking a little bit spoiler free, mostly about the movies that we saw, in the vain hope that maybe we'll convince somebody to check them out.
Watch one. I would
Yep.
feel pretty good about that. So, we've got some recs.
And something else I want to mention too was, first of all, there are a small handful of movies we didn't get to see last year that we're still hoping to maybe check out.
Yeah.
I was thinking like The Secret Agent is the big one that
Yeah.
got nominated a bunch at the Oscars that for as far as I know, it didn't come to AMC, which is our theater of choice where we live. But also did not come to it came to the specialty theater near us for just a few days. And
Did it actually come there? And I don't know that I ever noticed that it did.
Well, I'm trying to remember if it was when I got sick.
Okay.
But I just remember there was one day we got home from doing something, and I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if they're showing this." And they were like, "Yeah, we're showing it 1 hour ago." And I was like, "Oh, well, are you showing it like any other?" No, this is the last day we were showing it. And I was like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
But it got nominated for a bunch of stuff, so I'm hoping it comes back.
Yeah.
But that's the big one that I'm waiting on. Otherwise, Die My Love was another movie I know we both. It definitely came to our theater, and we didn't muster the.
Yeah, I did choose not to go see that one, and I regret it a little bit, but I'll see it at some point. But yeah.
Pattinson, I know you do too.
Yep.
And yeah, seemed like a neat movie. Good performance from Jennifer Lawrence as well. So so I'd like to go check that out. Sorry Baby, another one I didn't see. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You is another one I haven't seen yet. Song Sung Blue.
Oh.
A few of those nominated for the Oscars. Some maybe were I think they were shortlisted but didn't quite make the cut. But they all had pretty good reviews, and maybe I'll get to go check those out. And I'm trying to think of some other ones from earlier, like remember like The Legend of Ochi? Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, with Willem Dafoe.
A couple of those that I was maybe hoping to get around to, but otherwise I feel pretty good about what we saw. We've got a good selection of stuff.
Yeah, 50 new movies in a year. I can't really complain. That's pretty incredible.
So yeah, we'll dig into that in just a second. We are also going to talk about where you can see some of these movies.
Yes.
But I do want to mention if you're not using your library to watch movies, then you're really missing out.
Yeah.
Twofold. They still offer a ton of DVDs and Blu-rays for those who have
player
of
some kind. Yeah.
Exactly. If you've got a Blu-ray player, a DVD player, they get like everything.
Yeah.
And so it's a great way to, especially because their Redbox is no more. Nobody's really paying for Netflix's DVD service. So, but dude, this is free, and you get movies again for somebody like me, and basically the highest quality on Blu-ray, and it's so like hassle-free if you have a Blu-ray player. But also, if you don't have a Blu-ray player, you can still check out, for us, our library offers Canopy and Hoopla.
Yep.
I think there are some other services that other libraries might also offer.
But yeah, you just have to have a card number, basically, and you can sign in and watch movies for free on there, stream them, which is, so handy for kind of weird niche movies.
Canopy in particular has a lot of like boutique type,
that's a good word
kinds of movies you would like see in like a film class type stuff. So not necessarily like, the popular stuff that's coming out. But Hoopla tends to have a wide smattering of stuff. And honestly, when I logged into Canopy the other day to watch something, they also had lots of, just pop stuff. I was kind of surprised to see. So definitely check those out if you're not already using them, because it's a great way to get to check out movies without having to rent them or having them be on your streaming service of choice or having to even go pirate them.
Right.
Like they're higher quality than a rip you're going to find on the internet.
Right.
And in some cases are less hassle. So,
and we got to support our local libraries.
That's true.
Got to use it or lose it, exactly. As far as I'm concerned. So I'm trying to use every single service my local library sends to me. So
else will advocate for our local library.
Yep. 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 I'm all for it. Okay. So anyway, moving on.
Time for the
list.
The top 10.
It's your stream. So would you like to go first with your number 10?
I'll go first. My number 10, we'll go from bottom to top, was No Other Choice.
Ah, yes. Yes.
So, No Other Choice. It's directed by Park Chan-wook and is written by Park Chan-wook and Don McKellar and Lee Jo-hai and Lee Kyung-mi. It stars Lee Byung-hun, who you said was on
Squid Game. Yes, he plays the games master, especially prevalent in seasons 2 and 3, and he is great, in my opinion, in Squid Game. He gives a great performance in that, and he gives a great performance in No Other Choice. I was great to see him in this.
Young-hoon, Son Jin.
I'm assuming that's his wife in the movie. Okay.
After being laid off and humiliated by a ruthless job market, a veteran paper mill manager descends into violence in a desperate bid to reclaim his dignity. This one is in theaters right now, at least in theaters around here, but it'll be available to rent and stream on the internet somewhere soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this made it into your top 10.
It did.
Okay. This is actually my first Park Chan-wook movie.
Yes, same.
He did Old Boy. I think that's like his most famous movie that he's made. It's very much a classic to a lot of people, a modern classic. It's been on my list for forever. I think it's on our movie poster.
Okay, interesting.
I still haven't gotten around to it. It's just there's a sea of amazing movies out there that every other day I'm trying to just pick one of those. And it still feels like I'm scratching the surface. But I didn't get around to seeing Decision to Leave, which was his other most recent movie that I'd also heard good things about. And I don't even know if that came around again to our local theater. But this did, and I was excited to go check this out. And yeah, I love the subject matter. The concept already gets me interested in going to check it out. It's we've seen a bunch of these recently, especially South Korean movies that are critiques on capitalism. Parasite really broke the bank here in America and definitely floored me and is one of my favorite movies of the last several years. And I didn't feel like this was as strong as Pitch Perfect as something like Parasite, and part of it is I've seen this several years later, but on the flip side, there are so many just crazy shots and frames in this movie that like I absolutely loved. Little gimmicks like in the this frame that we ended on here, where there's a scene where he's like doing an interview and shining in his eyes the whole time, and to like shift himself back and forth to get out of it while he's like trying to like it was fun. But also these like composite shots where people's like faces are fading in and out on certain parts of the frame. Stuff like that I've just like never ever seen before. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. It felt very new versus some of these other movies I'm going to mention are favorites of the year, maybe like them more than this one, but are still kind of by the books in terms of just their actual composition, how they made the movie itself. But yeah, some of the parts just really worked really well for me. All of the stuff about the kind of layered parts of the movie, talking about how he is his job is downsized basically, and so now he's fighting other people for his job. And his job is going to be leading like an automated facility, like a factory that's going to have no other workers. So he's trying to climb it's like crabs in a bucket, really.
Yeah.
Which is very typical, I would say, criticism of capitalism for sure.
Right.
And so it's always nice to just see acknowledgement in the world of terrible, awful things happening around, and it's nice to see it in art. And I felt like this was a great little. Are we back?
Hey everybody, I hope we're back.
That wasn't my fault. That was my internet service provider.
Woo!
Who I won't throw under the bus because I think I saw them actually doing real maintenance outside.
Yeah, I did see them out of the truck. Okay, cool. It does look like we're back up.
All right.
What's up, everybody? We're back.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Sorry for that brief pause. We're back. That was just for dramatic effect.
What did you think? How did you like the stream so far?
One movie in. Okay, anyway, yeah, I don't know if I really had anything else to add to what Mark was saying about No Other Choice. If I think of it, I can add it when we get to it in my list. But yeah, it was a great movie, and I definitely would recommend it.
Yeah.
It is in Korean, as you might imagine. We watched it with English subtitles. For some people, I know that's a bit of a deal breaker. I have never understood that stance, but,
Yep.
That's fine for you, if that's fine for you. But I would really recommend it. If you can, what did, oh my gosh, what's his name from Parasite?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho. If you can get over that little 2-inch barrier called the subtitle, there's a world of movies out there for you. So I'm all about it. Very good, very fun.
Yeah.
Would recommend.
If you're like a child who can't read, I think that's okay. And you probably shouldn't anyway because it's a rated R movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this for a child, maybe. But if you can read, then I think you should watch it. Cool. Okay, my number 10 on my list is a little flick called Marty Supreme.
All right. That's also on my list.
Marty Supreme, I figured it might be. This movie was directed by Josh Safdie, is that correct? Written by Josh Safdie and Ronald Bronstein, starring Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Odessa A'zion, Kevin O'Leary, Abel Ferrara, Fran Drescher, and Tyler, the Creator, our favorite rapper. In 1950s New York, table tennis player Marty Mauser, a young man with a dream no one respects, goes to hell and back in pursuit of greatness. So yes, that is our boy Timothée Chalamet as Marty Mauser. There's a very good chance you've seen all of the viral marketing that this movie has been doing in the last couple of months. It was all over the internet. They were doing a lot. This was A24's. I guess we're not on me. We'll show it in a second. I'm wearing my A24 shirt. Most expensive production, right?
Yeah.
Ever. And you can definitely tell when you watch the movie. It got nominated for a ton of Academy Awards. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Original Screenplay, Best Casting, which is a new category for this year, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, Best Costumes, and Best Editing. But, as Mark, I'm sure, will note for us, it did not get nominated for Best Soundtrack, which is a real bummer. This movie has a great soundtrack, great sound to it. But yeah, man, it's just so fun. It's like 2 hours that never stops. You're just like on, Marty's little train, and you're just like going, shooting for the moon. He is never going to back down. He's never going to take no for an answer. He's going to force himself and everybody around him through every situation that he comes across. And, he is a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, the movie was fun. Looked great. The style of it was great. They did a great job with the 1950s New York aesthetic that they did. And yeah, I always love good costuming in a movie, and this movie definitely had great costuming, which I really appreciated. Yeah, if you like Uncut Gems, another movie made by the Safdie brothers, then there's a good chance you'll like this movie too. It's got kind of that same frenetic energy. Got a main character that you don't always love the choices that they make, so they're a bit of unreliable, and that's kind of fun. I feel like, to have a main character who's not just like always doing the most right thing,
Yeah.
but instead is doing interesting things, making mistakes, doing some things right, trying hard, shooting for his dreams. But yeah, the energy, the cinematography of this movie is great. Yeah, just got a great pace. You're just like clipping through, which is awesome. So yeah, I really enjoyed Murder Supreme.
Yeah, it's also on my list. It's a fair bit higher.
Mhm.
There's just a few things that worked more on me. The music is definitely the biggest thing. It features a couple licensed songs. It's bookended with two Tears for Fears songs that
Yeah.
I've already been listening to a ton before this movie even came out.
Yep. Yep.
And so yeah, when the movie starts with one, I'm like, oh, this is great.
Mhm.
And there's a couple other 80s tracks woven into
Mhm.
the movie's makeup, even though it takes place in the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an odd mix, and it works for me on like every level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I loved that part about it, but also the score itself, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
not nominated for Best Original Score this year, and to me, that's my personal snub.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with a lot of the Oscar nominations this year. I don't really have many complaints.
Yeah.
This one, it's not that shocking to me given some of
Yeah.
the other nominations in the past or snubs in this category. The
Mhm.
people that are picking the nominees for Best Original Score,
Mhm.
they're not interested in anything like electronic or new age. And I get that, but this score I've been listening to a lot this year, just outside of the movie on my own, looking for something instrumental to throw on. I've loved this soundtrack, and yes, it's from Daniel Lopatin, who is kind of credited with pioneering the vaporwave genre of music, which is a little like corny and not really something that I'm listening to in my free time, but it's an aesthetic that when brushed up and made professional for like a movie score like
Mhm.
this, again with all these 80s tracks woven in, it does a great job of making you feel like what you're witnessing is the most important thing that has ever happened on the
Yeah.
planet, which is
Right?
how
You feel the
Marty
drama.
feels
Yep.
in the whole movie.
Yep.
The entire time, Marty is like, this is the most important thing. I need to do this. You guys are all idiots for not understanding.
I'm gonna be huge, and so is this sport,
Right.
and you're missing the train if you don't get on my back right now.
And the score does an awesome job of
Yep.
driving that. So
Yep.
definitely disappointed that it didn't get nominated.
Yeah.
That's my soapbox for that. But yeah, like you said, the production design is great.
Mhm.
It's from Jack Fisk, who's a legendary production designer, and he did a great job of making this 50s world that they
Mhm.
live in. And so the costumes are also fantastic in that regard. And the casting. This is a new category, like you said. We're not really sure what the precedent is for this, who's going to win or anything like that. But I would say that the cast is one of the most fascinating parts of the movie. We have people like Gwyneth Paltrow, who had taken kind of a hiatus from acting.
Yeah.
People like Kevin O'Leary, who I do not respect in any regard, and kind of makes me not want to see the movie or advocate for it. But he's good in the role. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like I can't believe they got him in this
Yeah.
movie. Tyler the Creator, like you mentioned, not my favorite rapper,
No.
but a rapper that I greatly enjoy.
There's a
And
hyperbole on that one.
this is his first movie, as far as I'm aware. And yeah, he's really good in that too. So it's just like a lot of interesting casting direction and choices there. And yeah, I liked Uncut Gems a lot. I think I liked Uncut Gems more than this.
Yeah, I
Uncut
think I'd agree with
Gems
that.
was the movie that the Safdie brothers made prior to this, and this last year they split up and each did their own movie.
Yeah.
So Benny Safdie did The Smashing Machine,
Mhm.
which starred Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Mark Kerr,
Mhm.
who's an MMA guy, and it was much more subdued and not nearly as interesting. Did not make my top 10. This is a lot more fun, high energy movie. It's much more in line with Uncut Gems. It's just like a almost a historical Uncut Gem set in a different time.
Yeah.
And with a different slew of actors, but otherwise it's very similar. Of just like a guy who's like doubling down every opportunity he
Yep.
gets. Anytime
Yep.
he's faced with adversity, he just doubles down. And for a movie, it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch. In terms of like the under like what's like the meaning? What are they trying to express in the movie?
Yeah.
I liked some of that stuff, but it was not as effective
Mhm.
on me. But again, in terms of a fun movie, it's great. So in theaters now, I think I actually saw it's coming back for an IMAX run
Oh, okay.
one of these days soon. But otherwise, I'm sure it'll be on some streaming service available to
Yeah.
rent at your local library
Mm.
sometime soon. But yeah, for the most expensive A24 movie
Yeah.
yet, it was pretty effective. It was a good time.
Yeah. Agreed.
So-
Agreed.
All right,
Number 9, Mark.
number 9. Sorry, my app
Uh-oh.
got me booted out. Okay, number 9. This one I'm assuming is also on your list and
Okay.
probably higher. Number 9 for me is Sinners.
Yes. True. True, true, true. Definitely on my list.
So yes, this movie was directed by
Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler. Thank you.
Mhm. I got you. That's okay.
Starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Caton, Jack O'Connell, Wumi Mosaku, and Delroy Lindo. This is him right here.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. This is nominated for the most Oscars ever.
16, I think, right? 16?
Yes. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Score, Best Original Song, Best Casting, Best Sound, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Costumes, Best Editing, and Best Visual Effects. It is available on Amazon Prime and HBO Max, and it's also available to rent online. It came out early last year, so it's available all over the place. It probably is at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ryan Coogler so much. I've seen every one of his movies.
Yep. Yep.
Starting with Fruitvale Station, one of the first movies that I saw with our friend Jack
Mhm.
several years ago. We were looking for a movie to go see together, and I remember I picked up my mom's copy of Entertainment Weekly, and I was flipping through the reviews to see what should I go see,
Mhm.
and I was like, dude, this looks really good. Fruitvale Station, it's about a real life event where a guy was accidentally shot and killed by a cop during like a they were breaking up a fight that he was not involved in,
Yeah.
like a subway, but he got singled out and was pulled aside, and he was, I guess, supposed to get tased and ended up getting shot in the head, and it was very tragic, a horrible thing, starring Michael B. Jordan as this guy. And I'm like, wow, this sounds really interesting, and I'm telling my friend, and my friend's like, I mean, we can go see it if you want, but I'm probably going to cry. And sure enough, not to put our friend on blast, but he was crying by the end of it.
I believe it. I believe it.
Great movie, though.
Yeah.
Definitely recommend that movie. But yeah, it's not a movie, it's kind of hard to sell compared to pretty much everything Ryan Coogler's done since then. He did Creed with
Also Michael B. Jordan, right?
yes, all of these movies really start Michael B. Jordan.
Now putting that together, but he's like been in all of them.
Creed with Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone
Yes.
wrote the script, up with kind of the idea, but he came up with it with Ryan Coogler, and Ryan Coogler directed the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Michael B. Jordan plays the titular character, the son of Adonis Creed.
Mm-hmm.
That Rocky comes out of retirement to help coach him or whatever. And that was a really good movie. I went into that with like the lowest of expectations.
Yeah.
And I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Then he went and made Black Panther,
Yep.
Ryan Coogler. And I loved that movie. I still really love that movie. Great blend of stuff that I really like. Again, Michael B. Jordan is in that, but Chadwick Boseman is as well. Martin Freeman.
Yes. Oh, love Martin Freeman.
And yeah, great soundtrack. Love Kendrick Lamar. He's actually probably my favorite rapper.
Yeah, that's fair. I would believe that.
Helmed that whole soundtrack. But that movie works on so many levels and was, a huge like cultural touchstone in 2018. And then made the sequel, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which I also really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I haven't really revisited it since I first saw it, but I came out of it like still was pretty positive on it. But this was his first movie, Sinners, that he's done after that whole,
Mhm.
franchise IP corporate movie machine.
Yeah.
He started with a really interesting movie with Fruitvale Station, that's very grounded, and since then has made a lot of like franchise stuff.
Mhm.
And after, especially with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which they were about to start shooting, then Chadwick Boseman suddenly passed away, and they had
Yeah.
to retool everything. I'm sure that was like a grueling experience
Yeah,
for
right?
him. And after that, it's like, okay, time to walk away, make something new, something fresh.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of clout that he can bring to
Mhm.
make it happen. And this was his movie. It's like a $100 million movie to
Yeah.
$200 million, I think. Uh,
I'd believe it.
and it's got an all-star cast.
Uh-huh.
It's shot on IMAX, and I'm like, dude, sign me up. I'm there. All right. Music by Ludwig Göransson, who did a bunch of the other soundtracks for these other movies.
Mhm.
He got his start doing music for Community, the TV show, and that's where he met Donald Glover and produced a bunch of his albums
Yep.
with him. And all of the stuff aligned for me to be like in movie heaven. And I walked out of that movie like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Rewatched it again several weeks ago, and realized that I was being too harsh on the movie.
Yeah.
That I think there are parts of this movie that like are mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing stuff. That like like out of body music montage that they have right around the climax of the movie. That my jaw was on the floor when I saw that for the first time, and it still is like I cannot believe, like, I don't know, just the gall to do that, and the how effective it is, every piece of it. Oh my gosh, I was in movie heaven during that scene.
Yeah.
And really, my only gripe is just like this kind of genre of movie, a horror vampire type movie, is not really my cup of tea. And so it has to be kind of a tragedy, and the way that all the characters have to act in the latter half of the movie, just like it's hard for me to understand why some of the characters do what they do. But everything leading up to that is so good. It is so good. And I just had such a great time with it. So I realized my little gripes, very personal, and ultimately it is so effective, so astoundingly effective at what it does, the choices that they make. And yeah, it made a whole bunch of money this last year. Another big kind of cultural touchstone, I feel like, and seeing all these Oscar nominations for it was really cool. Is it the best movie of the year? For me, obviously not. It's number 9 on my list. But when you look at all these categories it's nominated for, I can't argue with any of them.
Right.
And some of them, especially the below the line stuff, I think it will win. A lot of the upper crust stuff, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm sorry. Michael B. Jordan literally plays twins in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to win Best Actor.
Yeah. Oh God, wouldn't that be incredible?
But still, it's a great movie, very palatable. It's fun. I mean, I could just keep talking. I'm sure you have stuff to say too. But the way that they weave in like the Irish history of oppression, in addition to like their own Black experience in the movie, was just so masterful. When you add in the musical element as like another layer, it is just insane how well all of that stuff works together in the movie. It's so good. So it was awesome. And even though on the whole it's not my favorite movie of the year, there are some parts that are so good. Drake in the chat said the music montage is so rad, and the aspect ratio goat Biggie. Exactly.
Yes.
And that to me is like maybe my favorite movie moment of the year.
Yeah.
You know, when the aspect ratio opens up and you see all these people wander into the dance. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. It was great. So I'll get off my soapbox and let you get on.
Thank you. Yes, this movie is much higher on my list. I'll get to that later. And yeah, I agree. When I first saw it, this movie, definitely like all over the internet, has been the movie to beat for a long time for a lot of people. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, it was good. But I wasn't like crazy about it. My biggest complaint after I saw the movie for the first time was just that I love vampire lore. I love it. I think it's so interesting. I love a good vampire movie, and I loved seeing them try to integrate that into more of the movie. And I just wish they had done more with it. Like the whole, first like 2/3 of the movie, you're not getting any of that, Um and there are some other characters who only show up for like a few very brief scenes and then leave. And I felt like, oh, I wish we could have spent like more time with some of those people explaining more
Yeah.
of the lore. Where
Yeah.
did this guy come from?
Yeah.
All this. But then when we rewatched it the second time, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll put that aside. This movie slaps. I think I saw that my own star rating for the movie jumped a whole star. I rated it 3.5 the first time I saw it, and it jumped up to 4.5 the second time I saw it because it really is just so impressive. It looks amazing. Yeah, the costuming is just impeccable. It's so good. Everybody who's in it is so good. Oh my gosh, yeah, all the confrontations they have at the door to their juke joint, all the times that they have to like you slowly see, again, different like vampire lore, them having to be invited in and the way that the characters slowly start to pick up on those things. Oh, it was just so good. Really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, I agree with you. It's too bad because I think Michael B. Jordan really killed this movie, having to play both roles.
Yeah.
We watched the Actors on Actors that Michael B. Jordan did with Jesse Plemons, another person that I love. I'll be talking more about him later. And Michael B. Jordan was talking about how, because he plays both characters, the way that he would block a scene is it would be him and then like a stand-in for the other one. So whichever twin, Smoke or Stack, he was playing for that scene, he would start as that guy and he would walk through the whole scene as that character. And then they would have to flip and have a stand-in be the guy he was just playing, and he would have to be the other one. And he would have to now try to play off of the choices he just made for the first twin. And that kind of stuff is like crazy
Yeah, that
cool.
breaks my brain.
So good. And it's amazing in the movie. It's like immaculate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, their interactions, they are just the perfect yin and yang for each
Yeah.
other. It's so good.
It never feels very awkward.
No, it just feels like so natural the way that like real life twins are. It just, I don't know, it feels so good. I definitely also personally have always had a bit of an obsession with twins. I always wanted to be a twin when I was a kid.
Okay.
And
vampire twins.
Vampire twins? Are you kidding me?
Pushes it over.
Oh my gosh. So yes, this movie is very high on my list. I'll let you know when we get to it later. Yes, loved Sinners. Excited to see it get nominated for so many things. Of course, it's always great to lift up Black voices and voices of people of color. I always want to see that, especially somewhere like the Oscars. It's really important. And yeah, when they make important cultural moments like this, I want to see them celebrated. So it's like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
People are like, this is awesome.
It's-
Like, he, retains the rights to this movie, and it's like his idea
Right.
that he like really cultivated, and it comes together. It's so impressive. All the performances and everybody who's in it, the music and the direction, it's just so good. The way they track through certain scenes, and it was so good on a second watch.
Yeah, I remember reading that I forget the name of the cinematographer, but she was, I think, the first Black woman to use like an IMAX camera.
Oh yeah.
And here she's nominated for best cinematography. And I thought that's a great example of not just about having like a Black director, but that he's then choosing all the different people that he works with. It just results in lots of new people getting a spin at doing stuff. In addition to being able to draw on his mainstays like Ludwig Göransson and Michael B. Jordan, you get to also spread the wealth with lots of other first timers, which is really cool to see. And then it's cool to see so many of them get nominated here. So
love Sinners. Definitely would recommend. Now, the thing to note is that because it's a vampire movie, especially in the back half, it is pretty bloody, pretty gory. So if you are squeamish about this, you may have a bit of a problem. There are some like pretty gruesome like fights. Like the end is really a pretty big bloodbath.
Yeah.
Now, personally, again, like I said, that's what I would expect out of a vampire movie, so it was fine for me, but
also,
I wouldn't blame anybody who's a little more squeamish about that to not be crazy about that.
I don't know about, again, I'm not really dabbling in that much vampire media.
Yeah.
Also, very horny movie.
Yes,
extremely horny, which I know is true for Twilight.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that that's
Is that
true
true for all
about
other vampire
I
media?
think even
That's
like
true too.
Yep. Lots of vampire stuff. Even in Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So it's very crucial to that vampire DNA. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, very much a hard R movie.
Yes. But I would,
Discretion advised.
I would recommend it. If any of that sounds interesting to you, you should definitely check it out. It's worth a watch.
What's your number 9?
Is one that I was kind of surprised to see make it into my top 10 movie called Nouvelle Vague.
Oh, wow. Cool. Okay.
So I'll tell you a little bit about Nouvelle Vague, directed by Richard Linklater, written by Holly Gent and Vincent Palmo, starring Guillaume Marbeck, Zoe Deutsch, and Aubrey Dulac. Maybe that's how you say their name. After writing for Cahiers du Cinéma, a young Jean-Luc Godard decides making films is the best film criticism. He convinces producer Georges de Beauregard, oh my gosh, you can tell I don't know any French, to fund a low-budget feature and creates a treatment with fellow New Wave filmmaker Francois Truffaut to make a gangster couple. The result? Breathless, one of the first feature films of the Nouvelle Vague era of French cinema. So yeah, as homework for watching this movie, we watched Breathless, both of us for the first time, I do believe. I don't really know a lot of like French New Wave cinema. I'm not very familiar. And Breathless was cool. It was a cool movie, cool to watch. And I'm really glad that we watched that before because yeah, this movie absolutely slapped. It looked amazing. The performances in it were so good. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was beautiful for a modern movie made in black and white about France in Paris in the 60s. And yeah, I don't know. It just was so impressive to me. Richard Linklater is a really cool director. I like him a lot. I'm not as familiar with his stuff as I feel like you and like Jack are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found this movie to be really, really impressive. Of the two Richard Linklater movies that we saw this year, this is probably my favorite of the two between this and Blue Moon. But yeah, I don't know. I really, really enjoyed the movie. And I was kind of surprised. I was kind of like, I guess we'll watch it. You know, we'll get it out of the way. And then after it was over, I was like, that was awesome. Like, I just had such a great time watching this movie. So, yeah. Does require a little bit of homework. You probably do need to have seen Breathless to understand. I mean, you don't have to, but it probably makes the movie a lot more interesting to have seen it first so that you understand, you know, this movie is basically just a movie about the making of that movie. So it helps to have seen that one first. But yeah, I really enjoyed the look of it, the acting. Guillaume Marbeck, as far as I'm aware, like has not been in anything else. I don't even think he has a Wikipedia article. But he was incredible as Jean-Luc Godard. He was awesome. He was magnetic. Every time he was on screen, I could not take my eyes off him. Oh my gosh, she was so good. And then Zoe Deutsch, love her.
Yeah.
Used to love her in the Vampire Academy. Again, Vampire Academy from when I was in high school. My sister and I didn't read books, but I loved that movie when I was in high school. And Zoe Deutsch has been in a couple other things, Zombieland Double Tap, and some other stuff that she's really good in. And she is great in this as Jean Seberg, an American in this movie of French people. And yeah, I don't know. I just really enjoyed the atmosphere this movie created. It's so fun. I always love getting to see the behind the scenes of how a movie is made. So yeah, I don't know. I just was a real treat to get to watch such a tight, fun little movie like this about something so interesting and so critical to film history.
Yeah. This just barely didn't make my top 10. It was number 11 on my list.
Nice. Okay.
But I agree with you. I had a great time watching it. More fun than I expected to have.
Right.
Like you said, I've never seen Breathless before. I'm not at all familiar with the French New Wave. And so, you know, like I said, in regards to Old Boy, I'd love to get into it. There's so many great movies out there that I still haven't seen. And this was a good excuse to check that out. But yeah, I mean, like you said, an absolutely beautiful movie. The camera work, cinematography, gorgeous looking movie. And just a fun hang with all of these characters, especially the way that they portray Jean-Luc Godard, and I'm not that familiar with his real life or you know what he was necessarily like before he passed away, but in this movie I love how he's written. He's portrayed as, you know, a bit of smarmy asshole, but like an unlikable guy. He does, like he said, he has like a magnetic charisma to him.
Yep. Yep.
And Gil Marbeck just does a great job of portraying him.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just so much fun to watch in that regard. Good looking movie, a fun hang, just about a bunch of buddies getting together to make a movie. Their first movie. They're all young artists, and very friendly and buddy with each other. And so, and as you alluded to, Richard Linklater, who I'm trying to think of movies he's made. He made Boyhood.
Yep.
Which is a big touchstone for me and my movie lineage. One of the early.
Yeah.
I think it was 2013 that movie came out, and that was one of the first years I felt like I really started watching a lot of more interesting movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, before Sunrise and School of Rock, of course.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Also, yes. Definitely on all the time when I was younger and was huge in my family.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like Richard Linklater, he's been a part of my life my whole life. Last year he made 2 movies. He also made Blue Moon, which is nominated at the Oscars.
Yep.
Is not in my top 10.
Yeah, same.
Stars Ethan Hawke, frequent collaborator.
Love him.
Richard Linklater, and he's great in that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so that movie, and not again to get too deep in the weeds, but it's also about making art.
Yeah.
And following people. This is at the beginning of an artist's career, whereas Blue Moon is more at the end of an artist's career.
Yeah.
So they're a really interesting pair to have come out the same year.
Yeah.
But I found that script, which again, it's nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay or maybe Best Original Screenplay.
Okay.
But I found that script to be like more clunky.
Yeah.
It's fun, but there's some really awkward stuff. This was way more fun.
Yeah.
Velvog is like just better paced and more of an interesting hang. But there is still in both movies a lot of like, check it out. It's Jorge de Blah. And I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, they introduce like at the beginning of this movie, like almost every character gets a little like name card to tell you who they are, and it's like, hope you don't expect me to remember any of those names because I'm not going to.
In this movie, they're not important. Like they don't expect you to. But it is very clearly like hey, if you like the French New Wave, you're gonna love this guy and this guy. But for me, I don't know any of them, so that didn't really work on me, and it made me kind of wonder if I did know that, would I be just as annoyed as I was in Blue Moon, where they're like, check it out, it's what's his name, writing Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, White,
and I'm like, gosh. I can't believe that you're doing this to me, That stuff was corny, and there's definitely a bit of that, like a little extra slathering of nostalgia on top of this, but at the same time, it's fun. Not making movies.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I also definitely associate with Richard Linklater. So
for sure.
Definitely, he's definitely like a bit of a thick layer of nostalgia on top kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it. The one thing we left out was it's a Netflix movie, so that's you can watch. Can't get it at the library. Can't rent it anywhere. Got to subscribe to Netflix to check it out. But especially if you like the French New Wave, it's definitely worth to watch. It was a fun hang.
And it's really not very long. It's like like an hour 45 or something. So it's a great short little movie. Definitely would recommend checking it out. All right, what do you got next, Mark?
Okay, next up for me, my number 8 movie is Wake Up Dead Man.
Yo.
The latest Knives Out movie. I kind of don't like that he's been forced to call it a Knives Out movie.
Yes, I read that he regretted that Netflix kind of forced his hand to call Glass Onion a Knives Out mystery. And he is like, I don't really want to have to call them that because that's not really what they're supposed to be.
But I recognize from a marketability standpoint, it does work. And this movie too, there was a lot of like, I didn't know that they made another Knives Out.
Yeah,
a lot of you can tell they need some help marketing it. But anyway. This is, the latest movie from Rian Johnson, written and directed by Rian Johnson. It stars Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington. And it is, when young priest Judd Duplessis,
I think so,
is sent to assist charismatic firebrand Monsignor Jefferson Wicks, it's clear that all is not well in the pews. After a sudden and seemingly impossible murder rocks the town, the lack of an obvious suspect prompts local police chief Geraldine Scott to join forces with renowned detective Benoit Blanc to unravel a mystery that defies all logic. This movie, also a Netflix movie, exclusive to Netflix, but if you have Netflix, check it out. Otherwise, yeah, you can not rent the movie or get it anywhere else. But yeah, I personally loved Knives Out. That's like a 9 out of 10 to me. Perfectly constructed mystery. And Glass Onion was fun, but not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I didn't like. I felt like the mystery. There's a couple twists that I just like had trouble buying into, and the setting is too gaudy for my taste. I love in Knives Out. It's like a cozy mansion nestled in the forest. It's very like rainy and wet kind of movie. And Glass Onion is about like rich people living on like an island flaunting their wealth. And
it's gaudy for a reason, right? But
at the end of the day, I walk away from the movie. I'm like, well, I didn't really like hanging out in that environment.
Right.
So this movie, I feel like they listened to all of my criticism. They went back and they set the movie again in like a cozy. This time it's a church.
Yeah, but it's like in a little upper New York upstate town, some no-name town.
And there's lots of wind rustling the trees. And the church is beautiful. They got these like stained glass windows pouring light in, but otherwise all this like stone brick everywhere. And I love that. So also the cast, great for me. Lots of people that I'm like, I'm totally there. Josh O'Connor.
Love him.
He's been great since I saw him in Challengers. And he's an awesome kind of wingman to Benoit Blanc. The sad, pathetic little please help me get out of this jam guy in this mystery. Then Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, and Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner. Those are all people I'm like, oh, of course, I'll be there. Andrew Scott.
He feels underutilized in this movie.
So I do have some qualms. I feel like, I've seen a lot of people complaining about Mila Kunis.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep.
And I'm going to be honest, it rolls off my back. Like, I really don't care. I do agree. Her and Andrew Scott both, I'm like, kind of a missed opportunity. I wish I could have seen a bit more of them, flaunting their stuff in this movie. But, like, she's not, like, so bad that I'm, like, writing a comment about it on the internet. And some parts of the construction of the mystery are, like, a little confusing or just kind of hard to wrap my head around. When I think about it more, like, it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't all click into place again like it does with Knives Out. I feel like that movie is perfectly constructed. This movie is not as good, but I loved it. I had a great time. So it just ticked a lot of my boxes for me. It was a fun mystery, good cast, great setting that I just loved hanging out in for several hours. So if you like any of the other movies that he's made, this one's definitely worth the watch. I liked it more than Glass Onion. But if you're just looking for a whodunit, this is totally worth your time, I would say.
Yes, agreed. I would say it's my second favorite of all the Knives Out movies. Knives Out is pitch perfect, but I do like this one more than Glass Onion for sure. Just lots of great performances from lots of great people. Fun little mystery that you gotta follow along to find out what happens. I really enjoyed this movie. I love Rian Johnson. I'm definitely a Rian Johnson apologist. I love lots of his movies. So I'm always here to defend him. I just love a whodunit. I just love mysteries. I used to love mystery movies when I was a kid. Not as weird as Brick, but still gets to have some of those weird elements that are kind of fun. And yes, love Daniel Craig in this, of course. He is just so fun. One of my favorite facts that I tell everybody that I know is that when they originally started this series, Rian Johnson wanted to have Benoit Blanc do a different accent in every movie. And I totally get why they didn't do that, but I wish they would have.
That would have been fun.
Are you kidding me? I would have loved that. I think that's so funny. I think that's just a great idea. Great way for somebody like Daniel Craig to really get to stretch his acting chops, because I know he's got it in him. But yeah, this unassuming Southern gentleman who shows up to solve your mysteries. And yeah, and especially in this movie, man, he looks great. Love the wide-legged trousers, a little flare at the bottom, the long hair, the slight, beard that's kind of growing in. This outfit of him, I mean, he is incredible. And yes, definitely love Josh O'Connor. He was great in Challengers. And yeah, he's a perfect little sidekick in this movie. So yeah, love following along with his story. It's so fun. Really, really enjoyed Wake Up Dead Man. This was number 15 on my list. So still top half, but not as strong for me as the other ones.
Zuzu Ernie asks, up for any Oscars? No. Knives Out I think it got nominated for screenplay.
Okay.
But this did not make the cut, unfortunately. And I think it's kind of fair, but a little disappointing. I love the conversation that they have about religion between Josh O'Connor and Daniel Craig when they first kind of meet up with each other, and they're talking about like their history with religion and things like that. I found that to be so well written, and just very smartly navigated in just the kind of scene that could very clumsily be mishandled.
Yeah.
But stuff like that really, I was impressed by. So
agreed.
For my own personal Oscars, maybe I would nominate it.
Yeah.
But also, Karen E755 says, "Hey guys, love you." Kind of a weird thing to say.
Hey guys, love you.
Just kidding. Love
Thanks
you too,
for
Karen.
tuning in. Love you all.
What are we on, number 8?
My number 8 is a little movie called Hamnet. Hamnet.
Yeah.
Directed by Chloe Zhao, written by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, based on Maggie O'Farrell's novel of the same name, Hamnet. Stars Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, Emily Watson, Joe Alwyn, and Jacoby Jupe. It's the powerful story of love and loss that inspired the creation of Shakespeare's timeless masterpiece, Hamlet. This movie is nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Score, Best Casting, Best Production Design, and Best Costumes. Unfortunately, it is not available to stream anywhere yet, but I would imagine that it will be very soon. This movie has got a lot of buzz, very good.
It might go back to theaters because it got nominated so much.
Right. This seems like a prime candidate for that. For me, this is another kind of surprising snub. I'm surprised that Paul Mescal didn't get nominated. I know it's not his movie, but he was really good in it. And so was Jacoby Jupe, his son. Gives a really incredible performance for a child actor.
Yeah,
he has to hold like a lot of emotional weight in this movie, and he does a great job.
Yeah.
Which I really, really appreciated. And yeah, another movie that I walked into it not really expecting to love it. Definitely a bit of a tearjerker. I did not cry myself, not to out myself as soulless or anything like that, but definitely a sad story. Will tug at your heartstrings. It's really well acted. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. They have such beautiful shots of the English countryside and of their little house that they live in. A lot of time spent in the woods and in nature and with our, human connection to nature. And what that looks like for a woman who spends so much of her time connected to nature and wants to use her connection to nature to try and, protect the people in her life that are important to her. This movie is really, really good. Sorry. And yeah, as I again told Mark, going into this movie, I was thinking a lot of a specific episode of Doctor Who called The Shakespeare Code, where the Doctor and Martha go back in time and they meet Shakespeare and they have this whole big adventure with him, and almost everything I know about Shakespeare comes from that episode, and a lot of it gets talked about in this movie. So I felt pretty smart going into this movie being like, oh yeah, I already know a lot of this stuff.
There is they do like specifically talk about like his son
and his son is named Hamnet.
Right.
The play is called Hamlet. And this movie, Hamnet, starts with a little descriptor talking about how in Old English the names Hamnet and Hamlet are kind of considered interchangeable. Yeah. So it makes sense that you could use one or the other. Just a great little movie. Really meaningful and just a powerful movie about the connections between family members, between love, between a brother and sister, between a mom and her children, between a father and his wife and his children, and a man who has hopes and dreams for himself larger than just this little town that he lives in, but also still loving the people in his life and wanting to be there and provide for them, and how difficult, especially in their time period, but even now, that can be to do both of those. How do you go out and achieve your own dreams while also staying close to the people that love you so much? And yeah, surprise, great performance. Well, not really a surprise, but Joe Alwyn, great in this movie. I really liked him in The Brutalist. He has kind of a small role in that movie, and I thought he was really good in that. And he was really good again in this movie. Again, not a huge role. He plays Annie's brother, I do believe. And yeah, it's just really, really fun. Great performances. I'll love all the chemistry between everybody. And yeah, Chloe Zhao, this movie is just beautiful, which is what I come to expect from her movies. Nomadland, not my favorite movie ever, but looks just gorgeous, just immaculate. So this movie, yeah, definitely does not suffer from that. And yeah, also nominated, like I said, for best costumes. I love good costuming, love good hair and makeup. And the costuming in this movie is like top notch. Love period dress. When you get to see people in their casual wear, but then also in their finest. And yeah, I don't know, just a really good movie. I would really recommend it.
Yeah, I'm with you. This was higher on my list.
Okay,
actually.
cool.
Did make my top 10 though, and same as you, I went into it with low expectations for myself. I'd heard good things, but I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna like this, and I walked away like, dude, this is like one of the best movies I've seen this whole year.
Right? 100%. 100%.
For a few reasons. Like you said, Chloe Zhao is such a competent director. There are just so many smart choices and pieces that you can imagine in another movie, and it would be so ham-fisted or awkward or just like silly and wouldn't work.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that like is so effective that she is able to navigate and handle so well. I'm thinking, yeah, a lot of the stuff like when her son is sick and he's like kind of on the other side, so to speak. All of that stuff is so cool. And it's things like that at first I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I think I kind of know where they're going with it. I'm not really, I don't know if it's working for me. And then later in the movie, they do something else. They mention something, and it all ties together.
Yeah.
I think, oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Or building to something.
Worked,
Yeah.
It wasn't just like there's just so many smart choices like that.
Yeah.
I loved. And yeah, it's a really interesting period in time that I'm kind of watching a movie set in. I'm before the movie reading a little bit about Shakespeare and how we don't know like a ton about him.
Yeah.
We've got paintings that we assume are of Shakespeare. We don't really know.
Yes.
There's just a lot from that time period. It's like, yeah, we have no idea.
Right.
And so to set a movie there where it's like, yeah, here's like regular people, living in a town. They're not like part of the royalty where we do have lots of records. But what is it like for these kinds of people? They have, some like you kind of alluded to Anne Hathaway.
Yes, I think in the movie they call her Anya or Annie, and I think I read that they did that only to create less confusion with the famous actress Anne Hathaway. But yes, Shakespeare's real wife was named Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, coincidentally. And yeah, she has like some, or I guess her mom had passed away when she was younger, but that her mom subscribed to all these pagan ideals, and so she tries to practice a bunch of those. And that to me is like just a really interesting, like, oh, okay, I guess in that time period there would still be a lot of these like kind of disconnected just rituals and things that aren't like written in some book or whatever, but it's just like, well, my mom taught them to me and they're like really important to me.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just stuff like that in the setting. It's really fun to explore, interesting to see. And yeah, very atmospheric is the other thing I was going to mention.
Yeah.
In the theater, so many quiet moments where all around you just hear the natural elements.
Yep. Wind in the trees, birds. A lot of emphasis on birds in this movie. A lot of bird imagery, which is also very fun. And makes for a great soundscape for sure.
you're in a building, you hear kind of the wind howling through like the walls and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. So yeah, I was really impressed by how effective it was for me, and it just felt top to bottom like a really smart piece of work.
Yeah,
A
right?
very well crafted movie from a very capable artist.
Yeah.
Lots of cool choices that worked well together.
Yeah.
Is it a movie that I'm going to buy on Blu-ray and go back to watch over and over? Probably not.
Yeah, right.
But in terms of its construction and how impressed I was, it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yep, 100%. 100%. All right. Your turn. That was my number 8. So your number 7.
Number 7 for me is Sentimental Value.
Ooh, yes. Great movie. Yes. Sentimental Value, directed by Joachim Trier, written by Joachim Trier and Eskil Vogt, starring Renate Reinsve, Stellan Skarsgård, Inga Ibsdottir, thank you, Leolis, and Elle Fanning. Love her. Sisters Nora and Agnes reunite with their estranged father, the charismatic Gustav, a once renowned director who offers stage actress Nora a role in what he hopes will be his comeback film. When Nora turns it down, she soon discovers he has given her part to an eager young Hollywood actress, played by Elle Fanning. Nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress ×2, Best Original Screenplay, and Best International Feature and Best Editing. And it is available to rent at the moment.
So yeah, this movie I was interested in. Joachim Trier, he's made a bunch of movies. I've only seen one other one. I saw The Worst Woman in the World, Worst Person in the World.
Worst Person in the World. Yep.
A couple of years ago, and I liked it, but I kind of walked away like not really have anything to say about it.
Yes.
And so this movie, I was kind of worried I would walk out feeling the same way,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually worked more for me than I thought it would, especially because a movie that's like meta about making a movie,
Yeah.
you know, like we were saying kind of with Nouvelle Vague or Blue Moon, that
Yeah.
sometimes some of those can just get like a little too like inside baseball.
Yeah.
And it feels like, yeah, it's hard to recommend, and it can feel just a little silly. It's in its own head a lot of the time. And so I was kind of worried that this movie would go in that direction. There is a little bit of that. But yeah, mostly there are just some emotional moments that are really effective. For some of the movie, I was kind of lost in like why the characters are, would treat each other a certain way or act certain ways. And as the movie goes on, you get more background on their family relationships and previous experiences that would kind of drive them to act and react in certain ways. But also, frankly, there are just some scenes in the movie that kind of like Sinners. I'm like, I mean, this is one of the coolest things I've seen all year. Or yeah, funny. I'm thinking about like when it's his grandson's 10-year-old birthday.
Yes.
And so he obviously has not been around in years, and he's coming around now to kind of try and get this project done. And as you see in the movie, ultimately, like him making this movie is his attempt to reconnect with his family. And so it's like very awkward and weird, but you're like, well, he's trying.
Right.
And one of his like he's trying moments is going to this 10-year-old's birthday and giving him a bunch of like very hard artsy teacher.
Yes.
They don't have any opportunity to show him those. Things like that were funny.
Yeah.
But then also, yeah, the final scene.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
I knew what, they talk all about the script of this movie and the premise of the movie and where it's going to be set and all of the different themes and things like that. They talk at length about them in the movie. And at the end, you finally see them shoot one of those scenes. So you know the whole time, like, where it's going.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm still, like, floored by
the so powerful. Yep.
And that to me is like calling a shot, It's like pointing out in the outfield where you're going to hit the home run.
And then doing it.
They did that in the movie. And that to me, I was like, wow, that is powerful, impressive filmmaking. And then after that, it ends with that Labi Cifre song.
Yep.
Canic Chase.
I love that song.
Feel like I've been listening to incessantly for years. I
Yep.
think it's been on my Apple Music replay every year for like the last 5 years.
Amazing.
And I was introduced to him because I think Kanye West sampled another song off of that album on one of his tracks that I really like, and I was exploring his discography. And yeah, Canic Chase, great song.
Yes.
And to me, unfortunately, it's just kind of a cheat code for me to.
Yes.
You play that at the end of a movie, and I'm like,
over the end credits.
That gets like a half-star bump right there.
And Worst Person in the World did the exact same thing for both of us. Famously to us, ended with that song by Simon and Garfunkel.
Art Garfunkel doing that song.
I know. All I can think of are all the other.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking about anything that happened years prior. I was only thinking about last year's movies. And that song we were introduced to through that movie. And I was like, oh, this is a good song. But this time, it was a song that I was familiar with, which just bumped it up a whole extra level.
Waters of March.
Waters of March.
Anyway. I had to look it up. Thank you.
Can we go back to my thing now?
Yes.
I greatly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. I liked it more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
Not a perfect movie. Because of some of that, kind of inside baseball movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But sentimental value was fun. Lots of great needle drops, great performances from people. Inga Ivstadter Lilius was an amazing grounding force in the movie.
Yeah.
As kind of like the older sister.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like one of the first big things she's ever done.
Yeah.
And she blew me away in this movie.
Yeah.
But a lot of the performances, Stellan Skarsgård, really great performance from him, and I love almost anything that he's in.
Yep.
So I don't know if it made your list, but for me it was number 7, and it was time.
Yes, sentimental value again in my top half. It was number 19 though, a little further down on my list. Really enjoyed it. But personally, I just tend to value humor over drama. So there were a couple other movies that I felt like were on like similar playing fields from it that were funnier, so they got put above it. But yeah, really enjoyed sentimental value. Again, the performances from everybody were so good. Yes, true. Could you imagine growing up in that house? That's incredible. And yeah, Stellan is great. Again, a lot of their like awkward, kind of stilted conversations. A great movie about what it's really like to be in a family,
Yeah.
Which I always really appreciate. Movies that like really show those awkward, kind of stilted moments. I think that stuff is great. So yeah, really appreciated that in this movie.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is No Other Choice.
All right.
Which we've already talked a little bit about. I was trying to think if I had anything else to say about it. I know that's when we got interrupted earlier. But yeah, No Other Choice was just so fun. I never quite knew what was going to happen next. The suspense of it kind of kept pulling me along just that little bit. But then, it still had that like dark humor, kind of making jokes about things that it's like, well, normally that wouldn't be funny. But because like how absurd everything that's happening to him is, it just, ends up being really funny.
Another movie about family.
Yes, another movie about a family, a man trying to provide for his family. He cares so much about all of them. He wants to give them the best life that he can. One of the very last things that after he loses his job, they have to start cutting back on all of the things that they pay for, right? They have this beautiful house and they have really nice meals, and then they stop being able to like do all of their extracurriculars. The wife they were doing like tennis lessons or whatever. She can't do those anymore because that's too expensive, but he doesn't want his daughter to have to give up her cello lessons because that's like such an important connection for her to the rest of the world and to them. And so he does like everything he can to be able to like maintain those like small pieces of normalcy in their life. And that to me like really grounds the story, makes you really feel like that is what a real dad who like cared about his family would do. And his performance was just so good. I was really blown away. Loved him in Squid Game, and he was just so good in this. I was really glad to see him get to be in more stuff. So I would really recommend No Other Choice.
Okay. So that was number 7 for you.
Yes.
Number 6 for me is Train Dreams.
Yo, nice. This is also in my top 10.
Okay. So Train Dreams is directed by Clint Bentley, written by Clint Bentley and Greg Quaidar. They are a duo who had worked on Sing Sing last year.
Oh, that was also a great movie. Yep.
It is based on the novella by the same name by Dennis Johnson. It stars Joel Edgerton, Felicity Jones, William H. Macy, Carrie Condon. A logger leads a life of quiet grace as he experiences love and loss during an era of monumental change in early 20th century America. It is nominated for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Song, and Best Cinematography. And it is also a Netflix movie, so you won't be able to see it anywhere else or be able to rent it or anything unless you subscribe to Netflix. I think it is, because it's nominated for Best Picture, I think some places are carrying it.
A rescreening, yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, it's a Netflix movie. I was hesitant to watch this because I was worried it was going to be like a gut-wrenching, very depressing watch, and it is sad. There are moments of sadness, of course, but instead I found it beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Agreed.
In so many different ways. First, gorgeous camera work.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful looking movie.
Yep.
Which really sucked me, and I know that you and I both have a strong affinity for this like Pacific Northwest,
right.
These landscapes, and certainly reminded me a lot of, you've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2, and it has a lot of that. It's same setting and everything. So yes, great photography. It's shot digitally, but it still has so much of the warmth that you usually get from a movie that's like shot on film.
Yeah.
Which is great for a movie set in this era of time. So lots of rich color, and a very well-paced movie. That was another thing I know we walked away from it liking, just the fact that it did not drag on, but it kept it tight and quick.
Yep.
It is based on a novella, so you would hope that it wouldn't be that long. And yeah, just a beautiful movie about life and about changing times, especially today. I definitely see lots of things in the news that scare me a lot and feels very unprecedented, and watching a movie like this, it's really grounding to see someone from 100 years ago going through similar types of turmoil.
Yeah.
Just having to watch kind of the world around him move and change so quickly that he can't really keep up, doesn't have to keep up, isn't like required to, but he grows old and kind of watches the world move forward. And so, yeah, especially as I grow older, definitely found comfort in the way that, they depict moving, changing life in this movie. And so, yeah, some standout performances. I've always really liked Joel Edgerton.
Agreed.
Personally.
Yep.
Other stuff I've seen him in, like Loving, was another really early movie for me of his that I was kind of blown away by his performance. But yes, also William H. Macy, great.
Yep.
Great character actor to just see in a movie like this. And I love all sorts of stuff that he's done. And so yeah, it was awesome. It was beautiful. It was, like I said, well paced, and very memorable, enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And the finale of him in the plane was just so neat.
Yeah.
Great way to end the movie. And honestly, I mean, that whole final sequence, I don't want to give too much away, but just a lot of the stuff that he goes and does at the end of the movie was really cool. But also just, love to see a movie depict life during this period of time, is a lot of fun. So would definitely recommend Train Dreams.
Agreed, 100%. This movie is also in my top 10. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but I loved this movie. I agree. I felt the same way. I was a little hesitant. I was kind of worried it was going to be like a real slog. The only thing I knew about this movie is that, yeah, it was set in the 1800s into the 1900s, and it was about a guy living through a change-in. And I was like, oh man, that's going to be depressing. And it is, like you said, a little bit. But mostly it's just a meditation on life and what makes life beautiful. And I love that.
Yep.
Sure. Yes, the Pacific Northwest. I think this movie is supposed to be set in Idaho. But just that whole area. I love the forest and the trees and the woods. Looks amazing. These like meadows and, he's a logger. So they go to all of these mountains and, it just looks incredible. Again, the costuming, amazing. Everybody looks so good. And yes, love William H. Macy. I love anytime he shows up in something, I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
Sign me up. And yeah, Joel Edgerton, I agree. He's really, really good in this. Again, kind of subdued, a little reserved almost. And it just feels so perfect. It's really, really good. Combines a lot of stuff that I love. Nature, trains, dreaming, as it were. This movie was awesome, and I would really, really recommend it to people. It's on Netflix. I'm only realizing now, like, how many of these movies that I picked in my top are, like, all on Netflix. But, hey, they're spending money on good movies, so at least they're spending them on good ones. Really, really loved Train Dreams. Would strongly recommend people check that one out, 100%.
All right. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is one that I would not be surprised if a lot of people haven't seen, but it's Presence, a movie that Mark knows that I just love the heck out of. Steven Soderbergh movie that was written by David Koepp, starring Kalina Laing, Lucy Liu, Chris Sullivan, Eddie Maddie, and West Mulholland. A couple and their children move into a seemingly normal suburban home. When strange events occur, they begin to believe there is something else in the house with them. The presence is about to disrupt their lives in unimaginable ways. It is available to stream on Hulu or Canopy, or you can rent it. And oh man, this movie was great. Tight 90 minutes, which I love. I love just like a quick little bite of a movie. It's so fun because the whole movie, the camera is the perspective of this presence. So you never see who it is. Like, you as the viewer are the presence going through this house. And the camera work is just mind-blowing. It's really incredible. So many times where the characters will be like kind of spooked. You'll like make a noise or something and they'll look over and think like, oh, what's that? And then they like almost seem to make eye contact with you, and it's almost a little unsettling. And it's really gives the movie a great feeling. It's just so fun. I think I read afterwards that Steven Soderbergh himself was behind the camera shooting the whole movie, and he wore bunny slippers so that you couldn't hear him when he's like kind of going. And his house is gorgeous. The whole house looks beautiful. And you're just like following like an outside presence. Haha. Just like overhearing different people's conversations and pieces of them, and you'll like be in one room hearing one thing happen, and then you'll hear something else happen in another room, and then slowly you'll move and go over there, and it just was really, really good. I loved this movie a lot. I walked out of it was just like almost movie of the year type stuff. Like, this movie was just so good. Not perfect. Sometimes the writing or the way the characters would act was a little like, I felt like a movie.
Yeah.
But for a lot of it, it just was really impressive. And then the reveal at the end, they're kind of like hinting at who they think the presence might be. You're not really sure. The characters in the movie, obviously, at first they're not even aware that anything is there. And it's only as the movie gets going that they start thinking, oh, maybe this house is haunted. Maybe there's something wrong with it. What's going on? And then, the reveal at the end when you realize who it is just, to me, like, brings the whole movie full circle. It's so good.
Yeah.
Really, really, really enjoyed Presence. I would very strongly recommend. And like I said, it's a tight 90-minute movie, so it's not even very long. It's just like the perfect length to get you in and get you out, which is just awesome. Really, really enjoyed this movie a lot.
Yeah, this was number 24 on my list.
That's okay.
It was high highs and low lows. Like I said, the writing to me really dragged it down for me personally. Just the way that characters would act and talk to each other. But some of the other stuff was mind blowing. So good.
Yeah.
Steven Soderbergh, great director, very capable guy. He's done all the Ocean's movies, all the Magic Mikes. But other great. Out of Sight is another one with George Clooney that I love that movie. Aaron Brockovich and all sorts of movies. That guy's a workhorse.
Dude.
He is making a movie every year.
Movies on my list this year.
And so he, it just does some crazy cool stuff. Like you said, we are the presence. He's running the camera. He's running all around the house filming this. And just some of that camera work and some of the, just ways that they employ the camera or stuff that they do throughout this, or even some of the just dramatic setups that they create for the movie. Really, again, had my jaw on the floor when I saw it at the theater. I was so impressed. So it's very fun, and as a horror movie, it's cool because we are the horror. We are the present.
Right.
So it's not really that scary because we're what's spooking everybody.
You're never going to have anything jump out at you. You're the thing creeping along in the shadows, trying not to be noticed. You're the thing hiding behind the slats in the closet, looking through. Oh, they came into the room now. What's going to happen next or whatever. So it gives it a spooky feeling without ever feeling scary.
For sure.
It lets it feel suspenseful, and you're just oh, what's going to happen next? And that stuff was really cool to me. I like that a lot.
For sure.
Yeah.
So definitely, again, for us, our library carries Canopy, so you can watch this for free if you've got Canopy through your library or on Hulu. But definitely worth advocating for. It's kind of a missed movie from last year, early last year, that was a lot of fun.
Yep. Number 6? No, number 5. So sorry, number 5.
For me is a movie we just went and saw. It's out in theaters right now. The Testament of Ann Lee.
This is also on my list.
Okay, cool. Very cool. This movie is directed by Mona Fastvold and is written by Mona Fastvold and her husband Brady Corbet, who he just last year, the two of them made Brutalist.
Yep. Got
nominated for a bunch of the Oscars. This got nominated for nothing, but it stars, Amanda Seyfried and Lewis Pullman, son of Bill Pullman, Thomasin McKenzie, the extraordinary true legend of Ann Lee, founder of the devotional sect known as the Shakers. So like I said, it's only in theaters at the moment, but it just came out, I want to say, a week or so ago.
Yeah, it had a limited release right at Christmas, and it just came out for us last week. We actually braved the snowstorm last Saturday to leave the house at noon, just right when the snow was starting before it got too bad. To go see this movie at the theater, and it was such a treat.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It is a musical.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that until we were driving to the movie, and you said to me you had heard it was a musical. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And for some reason, I guess I know the reason, but over the last couple of years, movie studios have been so hesitant to advertise movies as musicals.
Yeah.
Barring Wicked or very clear, obvious adaptation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for example, the Mean Girls.
I was just thinking of that. Or Wonka.
Yes, or Wonka. They, for some reason, I don't know why they feel like people are going to see that it's a musical and they're not going to go. But I think it's actually worse if you go to a movie and you're like, oh, this is a musical?
I know.
Wouldn't that make it more
upset to be duped? I would think so. Yeah. I would rather know going into it. But for some reason, I guess they think if you're in the door, you're going to stay anyway or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I find that kind of silly.
Yeah, man. This was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure what to expect. But I love Amanda Seyfried.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And
she can sing.
Oh, for sure. So when they do one song and I'm like, well, I mean, they're the Shakers. That's kind of their thing. They do
Yeah.
the second song, and I'm like, dude, you're right. This is a musical. They are, but all the songs are very diegetic. They are all songs that
They're like
are
spirituals.
right. They are happening in the scene, so they're singing as part of their congregation. So it's not like they turn to the camera and start breaking out into song
Yeah.
dance, explaining like what they're doing in life. The songs are not about like
Explaining the plot.
yeah, they're not expository.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
songs that are right. They're spirituals that
Yep.
they just sing and do, but there's so much choreography
Yep.
with them.
Yep.
I loved that.
It was
I was going
amazing.
crazy for that. Dude.
Yep.
That made me just so giddy. And so yeah, it's an elegantly constructed little movie
Mhm.
about Anne Lee and her life, how she starts in Britain and is she basically starts a movement or helms a movement to they what's the way to describe this? She finds a group of people who are I don't know, they are a small group.
Shakers.
Yes, and they are Shakers because their big thing is that they proclaim their sins aloud to each other, and then they like sing and dance basically to repent for their sins.
Yeah.
And another big part of it is that they are comfortable having women lead these
Yes. Being equal members of their preaching and congregation.
So that's the big part that like other people, in their community are like, no, Anne Lee, she can't be running.
Yep. She can't be in charge. She can't be deciding what kind of doctrine you should follow and making decisions for the group. That's not a woman's place.
Right. So they go to America
Mhm.
to be able to continue their movement, and they make new friends and new members along the way. They lose people for various reasons. And it was just an awesome experience. Again, the music and the choreography for me, I love a good musical.
Yep.
And I loved how this was not a musical with a bunch of expository dialogue, but instead is like a musical chock full of diegetic songs.
Yep.
Like you said, spirituals that they're performing together, and they have reason to do choreography together.
Yep.
But in the thick of it, I'm like, wow, dude, they are like moving, shaking. But they're all like moving in time. They have this awesome choreography, the music.
And it's so natural. One person will be doing a specific kind of dance. Well, everybody in the room is all doing a different kind of dance. And then they'll all see, oh, I like what that person's doing. So then more of them start doing it, and then more of them. And then all of a sudden the whole room is all doing like similar choreography, but it feels like so natural, like you said, so diegetic, and like it doesn't, it's not like Status Quo in High School Musical. Everyone just breaks into song and dance, and they're singing about how nobody's supposed to sing at their high school or whatever. But instead, it's like, no, this is totally makes sense, like for this moment, and somehow this movie is like full of multiple of those moments, and they never feel like forced or ham-fisted, which is really cool.
Yeah, that stuff, again, just so excellently constructed, and it allows for like montages that make sense in the way that the movie is edited and stuff like that. I was really impressed by. It was a ton of fun, but definitely as somebody who loves musical and loves choreography, I really liked how grounded and seriously this movie took the subject matter while still having an excuse to have some awesome grand music, grand choreography that felt like it all made sense in the movie. So I was having a great time.
100%. It was really cool. More great costuming, even though it wasn't nominated for anything. The costuming is impeccable. Everybody looks amazing. And the music and the dancing is just so good. I really, really enjoyed The Testament of Anne Lee. Definitely walked out of that and was like, dude, I think that's got to be in my top 10. Like, I was immediately like, I'm captivated. I got to have this.
It's really shocking for a movie this late in January.
You
really be that high up the list. Usually this is like the movies that like, we pushed this far because we didn't think it was going to make the cut. But this, instead, I'm disappointed that it was pushed so late.
It seems like it almost just missed. It was like too late for anybody to really be able to
Yeah.
get out there and vote for it.
Yeah.
But
This is a Searchlight movie.
yeah,
Previously Fox Searchlight. They've got a Best Picture nominee every year, except for this year. But
wow,
the last like 10 or 15 years.
wow, okay, yeah,
They've pretty much always had a Best Picture nominee.
yeah,
And this time they flubbed it with Is This Thing On?
yeah,
And I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, Rental Family. I
yeah.
liked Rental Family. Didn't make it in my top 10.
Nope, mine either, but it was good.
But it did not connect with audiences, and so I think Searchlight was like, Testament of Anne Lee. It was a little too late for that.
Right, and I feel like if they would have led with this, maybe they would have been a little more. They had a little more faith.
Pun intended.
Not when I said it, but yes.
Pun unintended. That was my number 5. What about you?
My number 5 was Train Dreams.
Hey.
Loved Train Dreams. Really just walked out of that movie. Again, we watched it at home, but I ended that movie and was like, holy cow, I think that's got to be in my top 10. Like, that movie just was so good. I loved it. I know, right? Like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to enjoy it. And then I watched it and I was like, dude, I can't believe more people aren't talking about how friggin' incredible this movie is.
Sure.
It looks so good.
Yeah.
It's, quiet and thoughtful. And, you got to see Train Dreams. It's really good.
All right.
Number 4?
Number 4 for me was Marty Supreme.
Yo, I know that movie.
Which we already talked about. Like I said, for me, the music is just kind of a...
It really has been like on nonstop repeat in our house. Like he just always. I'm coming home so much, and Mark is listening to music while he's at work, and I'm very frequently seeing the cover for the Marty Supreme album, like very frequently.
Like Timothy Chalamet, and I've not been annoyed by the marketing. You kind of alluded to it with
very endearing. I was surprised to hear so many people found it so grating.
Yeah, it's just a very expensive movie, so it has an expensive marketing budget.
Yep.
So it's just been all over the place.
Yep.
And if you're already not like a Timothy Chalamet truther or anything like that, then it may not be as effective for you. But that was my number 4. What about you?
My number 4 was The Testament of Anne Lee.
Okay.
Great movie. Loved it. Really, really loved it. Just so good.
Okay.
Can't say enough good stuff. Number 3?
My
Top 3. Here we go.
My number 3 is Hamnet.
Yo, let's go. It's so funny. We're just like slightly trading places on all this. Perfect. I know it's coming. It's coming.
But yeah, I said I was really surprised by how much I loved Hamnet. And ultimately, I would say all of the outside of the top 3, I have some bones to pick with those movies. Number 4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme, Testament of Anne Lee, Train Dreams, and Sentimental Value. All these movies, I do have some qualms with them, but they really work for me really well.
Yeah.
Hamnet, I really don't have any complaints. I don't have any like notes or anything I didn't really care for. Top to bottom, great movie. So that was my number 3.
Sick. All right, my number 3 is finally a new one. My number 3, another Netflix movie, I do believe, is Frankenstein.
Okay, all right.
Really, really enjoyed this movie. Directed by Guillermo del Toro. Love him. Starring Oscar Isaac. I'm also in love with Oscar Isaac. Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, and Mia Goth. And if you're unfamiliar, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant but egotistical scientist, brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. This movie was nominated for Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Score, Best Sound, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and Best Costumes. And yeah, like I said, this is another Netflix movie that came out. Yeah, man, this movie, I was just like all in. I loved the look of it. It was so grand. The costuming just like blew me away. I was quite impressed with Jacob Elordi's performance. I remember going into it, I was like, he's like my big question mark. I've seen him in some stuff. He's pretty good. But I was wondering, like, can he do this transformation of being like a hideous creature? Normally he's like such a beautiful man, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought he was pretty good. I heard some complaints from you, as well as from some other people, that they wished that the creature looked more ugly, more disfigured, that they wish it was a little scarier, you know?
Yeah.
And as somebody who hasn't read the book,
full disclosure. I really enjoyed his performance. More as just like a giant child, somebody who is exploring the world slowly, cautiously, but also freely. Uh, and yeah, I just loved Oscar Isaac as this like really egotistical, over the top Dr. Frankenstein. The costuming decisions that they choose to make between the way that the way that Oscar Isaac dresses versus the way that he chooses to clothe the creature, just like really, really inspired to me. There are so many scenes where he's wearing these like elaborate, like robes or cloaks, and they're in like the deepest colors, and they just look gorgeous. And then you cut to a scene, and Jacob Elordi is down in the basement, chained to like a crypt, and he is wearing like basically a loincloth, and that's like it.
Yeah.
And then eventually he escapes. Spoiler, I guess, but I don't know how else the movie would progress.
It's hard to spoil Frankenstein.
Right. It's kind of been around like 150 years. Mary Shelley, I think, would be disappointed to hear that there are spoilers for Frankenstein. And I know that, again, this movie is not exactly like the book. It is a little different in some ways. But yeah, him escaping and then dressing himself in the clothes of the dead soldiers that he comes across. He comes across like this field of where like a battle had taken place, and there's these dead soldiers, and he cobbles together an outfit based on all of the pieces that he can find from all these dead people. Just like really symbolic, and I really, really appreciated that. And yeah, just really, really good looking movie. Great sets, really lavish. You can tell they spent a lot of money on the production design. Again, nominated for that at the Oscars. Just really looks so impressive. The tower that they have that they buy to house where they do this stuff with the creature, and then the ship that the Russians are on that is at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, a lot of that stuff just like really, really impressive. Looked so good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was just such a delight. Did get to see it in theaters, even though it's a Netflix movie. One of our local specialty theaters was showing it, and we got to go see it, and that was such a treat. It looked amazing on the big screen. So I don't know if you'll ever get a chance to see it like that, but if you ever do, I would highly recommend it. It just looks so good up there. But yeah, Guillermo del Toro, he knows what he's doing with a monster, with a creature. Makes them sympathetic, but also still scary. You feel for everybody involved, who really is the monster, the creature, or Dr. Frankenstein himself. And yeah, I don't know, just really, really impressive. I really enjoyed this movie a lot.
Yeah. The production design for sure, and the costumes, definitely my favorite parts.
Costumes are just like so good.
Yeah. The kind of stuff that I'm going to a Guillermo del Toro movie expecting, I'm anticipating and excited to see. So I was not disappointed. Just such lavish, very colorful, contrasty costumes, and these awesome sets. With that we just spend so much time in and around. Beautiful, beautiful movie.
Yeah.
And I love the cast. I love Oscar Isaac.
Yes.
I feel like I'll watch anything that he's in, and I really liked him in this role. Mia Goth as well. I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about her. I was more concerned about her than Jacob Elordi, honestly. But again, the costumes and everything, I feel like they really help elevate a lot of those performances.
Yep.
Like you said, for me, where was this in the list? I think it was 13. Yeah, number 13 on it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's fairly high.
Yeah.
But definitely there were a couple blemishes. Like I did want the monster to be scarier.
Yeah.
Instead he's just like fugly, And I was hoping for a bit more, where it's really just like his booming voice that is the scariest part of him, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's got kind of ugly skin, but it's mostly just like, he's wearing like
patchworked
clothes.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a little more. Also, the visual effects are pretty not good, in my opinion. There's like times where like he's like throwing people around.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the stuff with the ship. And some of that just looks a little iffy. There's not a ton of that in the movie though, so it doesn't really like get it down that much. And ultimately, I feel like I just left hoping for a little more to pull me in.
Yeah.
When I saw Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio a couple of
Oh,
years ago,
yes.
it was head over heels for that.
Yep.
And that to me was like firing on all cylinders.
Yep.
This, not so much for me.
Fair enough.
But I still, on paper, like a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I've heard people complain about, I don't really jive with. The changes from the book, I don't really care that much about the minor stuff. I've heard, lots of complaints about Mia Goth and Oscar Isaac, and I'm like, I don't know, I really like both of them in this.
Yeah.
So, but it does seem like it's, if anything else, a divisive movie.
Yeah.
And when I watched this, I instantly thought of like 10 people who would love this movie.
Yeah,
Just from
right?
the production design and
Yep.
costuming alone.
Yep. I mean, I literally did like go to work the next day, and I told so many people, I was like, "You've got," and they saw it and they loved it. You know, not to brag, but word of mouth, it gets the word out, dude. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. So another movie, Netflix only, but it's worth checking out. Drake said that he just watched it and he needs me some milk.
You know what? Amen to that. Love me a glass of milk.
So, okay, that's number 3. So number 2 for me.
I have a guess.
I have a guess too that it's your number 1.
Yes.
Begonia.
Begonia.
Number 2 movie of the year. This year, when I'm rating movies, lots of 3s, 3.5s,
Yeah.
4s.
Very common.
Very much like a 3.5 or 4 stars out of 5
Uh-huh.
person. But this year I saw 2 4.5 out of 5s.
Yep.
Two 9s out of 10s, if you will.
Yep.
And this was one of them, Begonia.
Yeah.
It is the latest movie from Yorgos Lanthimos, directed by him, written by Will Tracy, based on a movie, Save the Green Planet by Jang Joon-han. It's a South Korean movie from 2008-ish.
Something like that.
Will Tracy adapted that into his own screenplay. It stars Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aidan Delbus, Stavros Halikas, Alicia Silverstone. 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap the high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. This movie is nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Score. And it's available on Peacock if you have that, or you can rent it anywhere else. And it's been out for a few months, so you might also be able to find this at the library or something similar. This is my number 2 movie of the year, Begonia. This worked on so many levels for me. For me, Yorgos Lanthimos, a director that I'm definitely going to check out anything that I can find from him.
Yep.
His first movie that I saw was The Lobster.
Yep. Same.
Which is a very like weird, movie, you know, a neat little idea, almost like a Twilight Zone type script. But after that, I saw some other stuff from him, like The Favorite.
Yeah.
Another kind of an odd movie, but odd in a different direction.
Yeah.
That I also loved. Great cast. Great, story and everything.
Poor Things?
And then, Poor Things as well, which, again, very odd. The oddest of all of those.
Yep.
I really liked so much of that movie.
Yep.
It's a movie that's hard for me to recommend, Poor Things.
Yeah, sure.
This movie is way more palatable.
Yeah.
I think. To me, it is a great mix of all this stuff, turning it into something that is much more accessible, I feel like. And another reason for me it's a 9 out of 10 is that it connects with concepts and topics that are so timely. My top 2 favorite movies this year are very like timely movies. This movie is all about conspiracy.
Yeah.
And that drives so much conversation today. And for me, like, conspiracy used to be kind of fun.
Right.
Now, over like the last like 5-7 years, I'm like very leery of anybody dabbling in conspiracy theories, even when it's for fun. You know? But we had a friend I'm always thinking about who she went to go get her hair cut, and
oh my gosh,
the hairdresser was like, "We love conspiracy theories. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?" And I'm wanting it to be like, I don't know, some basic, like the moon landing was faked type stuff, or JFK's assassination was an inside job. But you know that these people, that's like a hop, skip, and a jump from like, I don't think vaccines are real, you know?
Right.
And that's like a real pervasive thought that like drives people today. And yeah, for her in that setting, you know, she's giving off her like fun stuff, and they're really quickly jumping into like the unsavory conspiracy theories that are like, well, no, stop. Okay, now you're making me uncomfortable. And this is a movie about somebody who is gripped by conspiracy in such a way that it drives him to do crazy, ridiculous things. And there are so many excellently written scenes where he is stuck in a room with this like girl boss CEO who is on the other side. Like we were saying earlier, I can't stand people like that either. You know, I would hate to be stuck in a room with a girl boss CEO.
Yep.
And man, Emma Stone has been on one recently.
Yep.
She has been just lights out in so many of these performances and poor things already. I mean, she won the Oscar for that. And I didn't she also win for The Favorite, if I remember correctly?
No, Olivia Colman won for The Favorite.
But Emma Stone has been just blown me away with all of these very daring performances from her. And this one is another one that you know, it on the surface seems like it would be kind of subtle, but as the movie unfolds, it takes so many twists and turns and goes places I did not expect at all, and ultimately is the second best movie I saw last year, and is a definite favorite for me. Pun intended from The Favorite. But just so many, again, as we've been saying tonight, a great mix of humor as well as drama. There's some dark humor that Jesse Plemons just does these like line deliveries that are so good. He's like just, you know, flatly, matter-of-factly saying like the most craziest thing you've ever heard. And you have to watch Emma Stone just kind of reel with like, okay, how do I try to connect with this person? And that's really what the movie is all about. Is like, how do we connect with people who just have feelings and thoughts that are so disconnected from reality? That is a big problem right now. And I'm scared by that. I don't know how we as a society are going to handle that. How is it that we're going to handle how divided we are, how we don't want to cross those bridges? Because when you see somebody who's espousing those values, it's like, well, but they're wrong. And it's not even like, it's like an opinion. We're talking about conspiracy theories. It's like, well, it's literally, you are just wrong, you know? But like, we have to have community with those people, you know? We have to live and work with those people, and we can't live our whole life just like constantly drawing lines in the sand. And this is a movie all about that. You know, I feel like the thesis of the movie is like, we have to get our shit together. We have to find out how to communicate with each other, or we're screwed. And that I can get behind. That's a message that I do agree with. It's a bit dire and definitely has kind of a dark air over it, as a lot of Yorgos Lanthimos' movies have, but very daring, impressive, excellent movie that is easy to recommend, unlike some of other Yorgos Lanthimos work. And yeah, like I said, second favorite movie of the year.
Well, as you said, it's not really been a secret. I've been telling anybody who will ask me for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks that Begonia is definitely my favorite movie of the year. Just blew me away. I'm definitely in love with all these Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone movies. She is incredible. And she just does a great job being weird. She like goes full tilt. She never holds back. And I just find that so impressive. For me, biggest snub of the Oscars, I think, might be Jesse Plemons. He did not get nominated for Best Actor, and to me, that is a huge mark against the Oscars this year. He absolutely killed it. Oh my gosh, he's so good because he feels so real. He feels so lived in as a character. He doesn't just feel like a caricature or like a cobbling of archetypes of a character who has weird beliefs, but instead he feels like a real guy you could meet at the store or wherever.
For sure.
You know? And that to me is just really impressive. He is so good. Love Jesse Plemons. I've seen him just in so many things, and he's amazing in everything I've ever seen. I never watched Friday Night Lights, but my older brother did. He loved Friday Night Lights when he was younger, and everybody always talks about how great Jesse Plemons was in Friday Night Lights. He was in Breaking Bad. Haven't seen it, but he's great in that. But yeah, he's been just in so many great movies in recent years. Little stuff like Tag, or even his role in Civil War. He just shows up and he delights every single time.
Yeah.
Really fun, really great. And is it Aiden who plays his cousin or whoever? Kind of a sleeper in this movie, but he is almost like the voice of reason in this movie, even though when the movie starts out, that's not what you would expect his role to be.
Yeah.
But he is like the dissenting opinion, but he loves Jesse Plemons so much. He's the only family that he has, that he's willing to go along with him in these crazy plots.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, yeah, just seeing Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, so many scenes are just like the two of them in a room acting with each other, and their energies are so good in this movie. It looks amazing. It's so fun. The ending is amazing. But really just the whole movie. It's so much fun. I love a weird movie that even if you can't answer all the questions or totally understand it, I just love watching something weird, It's just fun.
Yeah.
For me, there are other Yorgos movies that are definitely weirder, and I think that part of that is because those are the ones that he himself writes. He directed this movie, so it's got his touches, but it was written by somebody else, so it doesn't go quite as off the rails, and of course it's based on something that somebody else already wrote way before both of them, so it doesn't go totally off the rails. But the rails go pretty hard, and that's not anything as people say. But yeah, it's just really, really funny and wacky and wild, and definitely a great one I would recommend. I have recommended it to people. Just a great little movie. I really enjoyed Begonia this year. Definitely my number one movie of the year. Now I'll go ahead and say my number two because we've already talked about it, because yours is going to be a unique movie. My number two is Sinners. For the year. And yeah, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, that would not have been the case. But on a rewatch, watching it the second time, I was like, no, I get what the hype is about. I've been seeing for months. Again, Sinners came out pretty early last year, right? But after seeing it on the second time, I was like, no, dude, I get the hype. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan blows me away. Haley Steinfeld, so great. Yeah, I don't know. I just really, really appreciate it. And it's fun on a second time. Again, when you already know what's going to happen, you can pay more attention to all the little details, which I appreciate. And this movie is just full of so many little details, little things that they do to distinguish Smoke and Stack from each other, their little mannerisms, the way that they act, but also all of the other characters. They got to show you why they all act the way that they do. And yeah, just all these converging storylines that all come together at the end to just go off the rails. It was really fun. I really enjoyed Sinners. So I would definitely recommend it to people who if you even think you're a little bit interested, I would really recommend it, because I thought Sinners was really cool this year.
Yeah. Okay, well, then it leaves it up to me.
Yes, it does.
My number one movie of the year, which I don't think is a surprise to you, but is One Battle After Another.
That's the one. That was my number 11. It was literally just outside of my top 10. But yes, One Battle After Another.
This is the movie to beat this year in the Oscar race. Written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, based on the novel Vineland by Thomas Pynchon. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Chase Infinity, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, and Teyana Taylor. Washed-up revolutionary Bob exists in a state of stoned paranoia, surviving off the grid with his spirited, self-reliant daughter, Willa. When his evil nemesis resurfaces after 16 years and she goes missing, the former radical scrambles to find her father and daughter both battling the consequences of his past. It's nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor 2 times over, Best Supporting Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Score, Best Casting, Best Sound, Best Production Design, Best Cinematography, and Best Editing. And
Woo!
it's a Warner Brothers movie, so it's available on HBO Max, but you can also rent it anywhere. Grab the Blu-ray from the library. It came out in like September, so it's been some time, and you should be able to check it out anywhere you want. And like I said, this is the movie to beat this year, and it doesn't always align with my personal opinion, I feel like, but this time around it did. I feel like I've seen so much stuff, as we've been saying, obviously, over the last year. And this came in September, fairly early for an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
But just like Begonia, very timely movie, which is really shocking for a movie like this that, has been in the works for years and years. I know that it's been a goal of Paul Thomas Anderson's to adapt Vineland for a long time, and they've been shooting it for years. They had to wait for Benicio del Toro to be available since he was busy making The Phoenician Scheme, which came out last year. And it was worth the wait.
He's so good.
So good in the movie. Yeah. What would I say? Like I said about Begonia, very timely movie. It is a movie that is about stuff that I'm wrestling with, I'm battling with today. I love I guess for me, I look back at the revolutionary 60s type leftists who were out there doing all sorts of crazy, blowing stuff up, right? And making real tangible statements. And that's not stuff that like I want to be involved with, but today I wonder, why are we not seeing people push the world and share their frustration beyond just the internet? Today, people's frustrations are really just aired by posting online.
Yeah.
To me, that's like not tangible.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what happened with those revolutionary politics from the 60s. And the answer is the U.S. government. That J. Edgar Hoover and COINTELPRO quickly shut down a lot of those groups. And forced a bunch of them either into hiding or arrested or killed a bunch of them. So only a handful today are like still in politics. And many of them are old or have just recently passed away. And this movie is a really interesting meditation on that. I'm not very familiar with Thomas Pynchon, but I know that the book is set in the Reagan administration era of time. So it's fairly similar, with Reagan being re-elected in the 80s. I think for a lot of people like the characters in this movie, they are having to wrestle with a completely changed political landscape for them. And in this movie, Bob, who's Leonardo DiCaprio's character, he is like totally out of touch. He's like disconnected himself. And so he just like lays around at home and smokes weed and watches old movies and just, tries to be disconnected. And that's a way to live life, but it's not like a fulfilling way to live life. And the movie shoves him into a crisis, a time of need. He has to be employed. And it's set up in this way where you think like and not to spoil too much of the movie, but you feel like he's going to finally be able to show off all of the revolutionary politics and capabilities that he learned several years ago. And throughout the whole movie, it doesn't. He's not capable. That is a past life for him.
Right.
But instead, he has to lean on other people, a new generation of people, to be able to move the chains. And I loved that message of the movie. Here's a guy who was a mover and a shaker so many years ago, and now he needs to lean on a new generation of people for help.
Mhm.
And they are like not in his circle. They're not like his buddies. They're a whole different like sect of people in the community, but they are still doing the Lord's work. They
Mhm.
are still making change happen. They're still helping people. And to see Vineland adapted from this like Reagan era setting to something more present, where in the movie, one of the big drivers is, okay, we're looking for Bob and his family, so we're gonna make up an excuse to set up a raid in a small town so we can round up a bunch of illegal immigrants, but really we're just doing this to look for Bob and his buddies. And holy shit, that is like literally literally what's happening right now.
Right now, yeah.
And that's this movie came out in September of last
Yeah,
year,
right. Right.
that's like crazy prescient to
Yeah.
me. And I feel like again, I love the fact that Bob is like out of his element. He's not really very helpful. And instead you see other people like Benicio del Toro's character. He is like actually like doing the boots on the ground work.
Yep.
He is helping get people to safety. He's helping like create diversions, and he's helping Bob
Right.
in his quest to find his daughter, but all that stuff, like I said, to me, like very relatable, not just in the like, oh my gosh, it's just like the Trump administration today. That stuff is like neat, but in just the themes of the story is still very applicable to life today, to fears that we share. And the reason I put this one above Begonia is because I feel like Begonia ends with kind of a dire message of like, we got to get our stuff together or we're screwed. This movie ends with a very hopeful message of like passing the baton to the next generation, and
more people will pick it up and they will continue that good work for you into the future.
Right. And that's what I need to hear. I need to hear like people being like, don't give up hope, don't quit, don't stop. It, change can and will come.
Yeah.
Good things will come. Don't give up. Don't lay around at home and smoke weed and watch old movies all day.
Yep.
But be a part of your community. Connect with other people and help make tangible change happen in the world.
Yeah.
And you can be a part of that push forward.
Yep.
That I really related to that message, and it felt like a great breath of fresh air for me. And definitely like a grounding statement that I can lean on in dire times.
Yeah.
On top of all that, it's one of the few Paul Thomas Anderson movies I feel like I've connected with. I've watched almost all of his stuff. I think Heart 8 is the only movie of his I haven't seen.
That's pretty good.
And it's pretty good because a lot of those movies I'm like, I didn't really like this very much. And I've revisited them over time, and I've come to appreciate them more. I rewatched The Master with you, and I liked it. I rewatched There Will Be Blood with you, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I rewatched Magnolia with you. I really liked it. And watching Boogie Nights, I was like, well, this is awesome. This is a lot of fun. But Boogie Nights to me is more funny and silly.
Right.
A lot of his other movies, they are trying to say something. But I've never really connected with any of them. And it just worked on almost every level for me. It was funny. It was comforting. It was enjoyable. Pretty well paced for a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah.
Great to see on the big screen. Fun set pieces. Great performances from an awesome cast. And yeah, I agree that it's the movie to beat this year.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's probably pretty likely.
I had an awesome time. Probably my movie of the year. And yeah, I would recommend One Battle After Another. It was awesome, and yeah, helped cheer me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Great movie. like I said, it was my number 11. So I really did enjoy it. Like just missed out.
Yeah.
But definitely a 4-star movie. It was really good. It was tough for me to pick between One Battle After Another or Marty Supreme for my number 10 spot. That was
Yeah.
kind of what I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
waffling between. But yeah, I mean, basically everything else that you're saying, I totally agree with. So 100%. It was pretty cool. And definitely the one to beat. So good to see Leo
Okay.
back up on the stage.
I agree. He was a lot of fun. Sean Penn,
Oh my gosh,
His
yes,
performance
he's
was
unhinged.
the hallmark for me. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's fun to see him as like a dad.
Mhm.
That's kind of a role I'm not seeing from him all the time. But Sean Penn was just. I almost felt like he was born for this role.
Yeah.
The way that he like carried his body, like Vince McMahon style. Um, and yeah, just the way that he's costumed and everything is just so rock solid and very very funny.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's I don't know if I really have anything else to say about it, but it was good. I'm looking at all these nominations and I'm like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Definitely worthy of all of them. So I'm curious to see, even though it was not as didn't have as many nominations as Sinners, I feel like it's going to walk away with more wins,
Sure,
most
I agree.
likely.
I am.
So
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how that goes on the big night.
All right, that is our top 10.
Woo!
We're gonna take a break, but we'll come back and just discuss, our least favorite movie of last year,
Yep.
and just any other soapbox
Couple
statements we need to make.
Ones we got to talk about.
Yeah, movies that didn't quite crack the top 10, but I saw it. I gotta advocate for it. Gotta say something about it.
Yep.
Or we'll see. Again, there's so many movies that I could probably just rag on, and I don't really need to spend the rest of our time doing that.
Right.
But I got to take a bathroom break, and then
Yeah.
we'll come back and maybe talk about some other highlights from last year.
All right. See you guys in a few.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. Just kidding.
Welcome back.
Hi, guys.
We're here.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we're back. Thanks
what's
for
up?
hanging out and listening to our top 10 of the year. Hope you get to check out some of those if you haven't already.
Yeah, and if you do, leave a comment.
Yeah.
In the comments. Tell us what you thought. Did we get anything right? Did we get anything wrong?
Yeah.
You had
if
any
you
other
did
favorite?
see any of those 10 last year, I hope you agreed with us.
Yes. What is your ranking? Do you have a top 10? Come up with one. Let us know. I think after this stream, after we're finished and we put it up, we will both be linking to our Letterboxd account. That was kind of a hard word to Letterboxd.
Specifically, I was going to link our list.
Our lists.
Beneath, so you can see exactly how we ranked.
Yeah, you can see all of our movies that we saw this year. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts, please feel free to comment those down below. We'd love to hear from you. And if there's any movies you want to hear us talk about, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I do try to write a review on almost every movie that I see. Mostly for myself, so I can just remember what I was thinking when I saw it. And sometimes I've rated a movie so low or so high, and then I look back and like, why did I do that? So it's always nice to have a little note for myself, but yeah, you can at least look at my letterbox and see what silly thing I had to say about whatever I saw from last year. But yeah, we're going to try not to. We've already spent several hours talking about 10 movies. We don't have time to go through all the rest of them.
Yeah, all 57 and go.
But we were going to at least start with our least favorite movie from last year. Last year, again, like I said, most of the movies I saw were like the worst movies were maybe like a 3-star or 2.5. But there were a couple that did dip beneath that threshold. And like I said, I'm going to guess we have the same worst movie.
Yes.
For me, the worst movie from last year was War of the Worlds.
Agreed.
Which
I think I gave that movie literally a star.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did too. I think Drake, it was you who it really did push me over. I was like a little interested in seeing it because I do love a bad movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll get around to it someday. And then Drake was texting me like, hey, have you seen this yet? Because if not, you have to.
Yes.
I have things I need to share with you. Okay, so War of the Worlds.
Sorry.
It is don't worry, I have an image. I think I have like one image to pull up on here. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I didn't work it.
So
I've only ever seen the one image
of him. Oh my god.
It's a movie directed by Rich Lee, written by Kenny Gold and Mark Hyman, based on the novel of the same name by H.G. Wells. You might have heard of it. Starring Ice Cube, Eva Longoria, Clark Gregg. Will Bradford is a top analyst for Homeland Security who tracks potential threats through a mass surveillance program until one day an attack by an unknown entity leads him to question whether the government is hiding something from him and from the rest of the world. So this movie is available on Amazon Prime. And that's one of like the crazy elements about it. It's produced by a company known as Basilevs, and they've made a bunch of movies like this. They dub them Screen Life movies, where it is primarily you're seeing a screen for like the whole movie. Yeah. And so I've seen a couple of these at the theater. And pre-COVID, they were kind of neat. Searching was the main one I was thinking of. Yeah. That I liked. That movie was directed by, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the one who made the famous like Google search commercials, which would like tell a story by somebody entering Google search terms. Yeah. And so it was like a really cute, like, oh yeah, he got married and had a baby type of thing because of like, oh, I'm Googling to get diapers or whatever. Yeah. And so that guy making a movie about a person who, like a dad whose daughter goes missing and he's using his computer to like find out what happened to her. Neat concept. It wasn't like pitch perfect, but it was a novel idea. Yeah. Basilevs, they also produced man, what's the name of that movie?
I've got
Hands Up. Who's doing this?
Nope, that's what I was thinking of. Unfriended. Unfriended.
Video call where like one by one they're like getting picked off by like a killer. Again, on paper, it's a neat idea. I've not seen the movie, but I watched the trailer so many times, and it makes me giggle.
And don't
so
forget
much.
its incredible sequel, Unfriended Dark Web.
Dark Web. gotta check out
I'll
Unfriended
check
Dark
out
Web.
on the Dark
We're missing out.
Web.
So that company
Oh my god.
makes a bunch of these. They have a new one in theaters this weekend right now, Mercy,
See?
starring America's own Chris Pratt, who
Oh my god.
it's like in a dystopian future. He's been arrested for a crime and he has to like use all of the tools available that
He
in the government.
created.
Or okay, sure.
So he created this like AI tool that can like look into your memories or whatever and determine if you're guilty or not.
Yeah.
And now he has to use that tool to prove that he isn't guilty.
Right.
And it's like, does this thing really have your best interests at heart?
Yes.
Haven't seen the movie. I'm gonna guess the answer is no.
Yeah.
Shocking. Hands up, who's doing this? Rebecca Ferguson.
So I already have like a pretty low bar, but I have seen that formula work well in examples like Searching, but it had to be kind of in the right hands. And this movie was not that. First of all, it's clearly shot like over COVID. You could easily shoot a movie like this over COVID. It's just a bunch of people like at home, using like a webcam to record it.
Yeah.
But crucially, it was shot over COVID and it came out last year.
Yes.
So that this like hot dump got thrown on someone's desk and they're like, we can't release this. So they kicked it out on Amazon Prime way later. Now, my understanding is that it was not like an Amazon Prime like funded movie, but
right.
that
They like made the whole movie and then
Right.
sold the rights to them.
But originally, it's like, well, we're gonna put this out in theaters, but then
Right.
COVID plus how bad the movie is, they're like, does anybody want to pay us like $30 for this movie? And Amazon Prime is like, sure, we'll take it. But crucially, it's not available. You can't rent it anywhere. It's Amazon Prime only.
Yeah.
It's an Amazon Prime exclusive.
Yeah.
And this is key to the movie because the movie happens to employ Amazon as a plot device
Several times.
Yes. There's like a main character who works for Amazon.
His delivery driver. Shout out Devin Bostick.
So I know, based on what I know about the movie, I know that it was not like Amazon directed them to make a movie where they are like the Deus Ex Machina, basically.
Yep.
But it really comes across that way because it is only available on Amazon Prime, and like the movie kind of sucks, and they're like the hero of the movie in many ways. Oh my
gosh.
And there are just like so many baffling choices, and this is even before we get into like the construction of the movie. Like again with Amazon, there's a point where like they're flying a drone, which. Okay, so first
I'm just thinking about this movie. It's so funny.
This concept that in the future or in the near future or depending on where you live right now, Amazon can employ a drone to send a package to your home that you purchase.
Mhm.
And on paper, you're like, "Oh, this is neat." Like that I could buy something and like it would get flown to my house immediately. But when you think about it for more than like a few minutes, it quickly it's like flying cars, literally. It's like actually it would be like a real problem if everybody was instead of
Constantly
driving on the
droning.
ground,
Yeah.
What if instead Amazon didn't have people driving on the ground, but they just had like a legion of drones flying through the air and they're all getting in like your backyard to drop off like and what can a drone feasibly carry?
Right.
Like a bottle of pills or something?
Right.
Maybe?
And you still have to have a person flying that drone. Like, how do you otherwise?
It's all supposed to be automated.
Okay.
The most hilarious part is in this movie, they're like, well, no, actually, they're piloted by like teenagers.
A guy.
Like a pimple-faced guy who's like fresh out of high school, and he's like making little deliveries, and he's like, oh, but I also pilot the Amazon It's drone.
What did he says? Like, it's experimental. It's not really on the market yet, but I happen to have everything with me in this post-apocalyptic scenario.
Which, okay, on top of all of that, then he pulls out not just the drone, but a VR headset. Like
he's putting on.
Okay, this is so. First, people aren't piloting them, and if they were piloting them, they don't need to do it in virtual reality. They would just like use like a laptop, you know?
Eye in the sky style.
Yeah, exactly.
Glenn Close is gonna come out of somewhere and be like, "This is not how this works."
And but like he needs like an SD card or like
it's a flash drive. And everybody's yelling at him because he's like, "Bro, you don't have a flash drive. Everybody, I have a flash drive right here." And he's like, "Dude, I'm in the NSA or whatever. We're not allowed to bring those in here."
Yeah. Did you see what they did to my boy Ed Snowden?
Yeah.
Bringing a flash drive into work.
So,
he doesn't say that, but I would.
Yes. That's what our commentary. The other best part, not to get too sidetracked, but the best part about this movie is watching it with someone else and just like MST3K style.
Yeah. It's
ripping over the top of it. But yes, he's like, okay, but I can't just fly you this thumb drive. You have to place an order on Amazon. Just any order. It doesn't matter. Okay, so he doesn't need to place an order, whatever. But you have to place an order for the thumb drive, and then I will use this drone to send you the thumb drive in my pocket.
Yes. Like it's not going to come from like a warehouse, but it's like, oh, it's in the truck that the delivery driver / drone pilot carries with.
Flash almost his son-in-law, by the way, also, and that he hates. His son-in-law that he hates.
So he attaches it to the drone, and it starts flying, but then like it gets hit by one of the alien robots.
Like knocked out of the sky.
And so it's flipped over on the ground, and they're looking through the camera of the drone, and they see that there is a homeless man living in a tent in like under an overpass right next to it. And there's like an alien apocalypse happening. And they're like, "Hey, we need to get this homeless guy to run out into danger and flip over the drone for us." So they use their NSA powers to find out what this homeless guy's phone number is for his cell phone, so they can text him and say, "Go out there and flip over the drone." And he goes, "No, I'm gonna get blown up by an alien." And they go, "Well, what if we wire you $100 Amazon gift card to a homeless man to run out into the danger and flip over the drone?"
And can you believe it? It worked.
Because it's a movie.
It's a movie.
So if you want to watch a movie with all that and more, you got to check out War of the Worlds.
I had not laughed harder in a long time than watching War of the Worlds. It was another movie that as soon as I watched it, I instantly went to work and was like, everybody needs to watch this movie. It's so bad. You have to watch this. Yeah. It's like, oh man, it's incredible. It's really good stuff. It's so bad. Definitely the worst movie I saw last year, and you gotta see it.
As Idrake said, my favorite part of that movie is the part where he is sitting on his chair, and when he gets up, you know he's going right back.
Tries to leave the room, and they have to be like, "Oh, damn, the door is locked, and it's an electronic lock. Guess I'm going back to my desk now." And then he finds out that his daughter didn't tell him something, so he hacks in to her Facebook account to see a friend request that she sent so he can find an invite that she sent. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's really just, and it's Ice Cube barely emoting. The man has zero range of emotion, I should say. Zero range of motion too, but zero emotional range. Oh my gosh. It's a delight. It's so bad.
It's just everything that a bad movie can be is in this movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, just barely any acting.
Yes.
You know, and see it on a webcam. The camera's just trained on his face the whole time. And yeah, plot developments that make no sense.
Yeah.
That just are they just completely nonsensical, and they have to jump through 15 of those hoops at any given time.
Yeah.
Is so funny. And yeah, I'm thinking literally he's sitting in this room for so long, and I'm like, there's no way he's ever gonna leave. And they're like, "Oh, now they're gonna blow up the place. You gotta get out of there." So then he gets up, and I'm like, is he really gonna? No. He goes over to the door, and the door is locked. And I watch him bang on the door, and you watch the door wobble.
The whole wall shakes. It's so bad. Oh, it's so
And
bad.
it's like my least favorite trope of like an important character has something important to share with our other
Oh,
important character, and he just keeps being like, "I don't have time for this right now." Like,
oh
it's
man.
got everything.
It's
a great bad movie.
it's a real delight. It's crazy.
Some of the other bad movies I saw last year are like bad in a way where it's like this is like uncomfortable and it's not really working. But
Yeah.
like War of the Worlds is like hilarious.
Yes, it's not like lap
So
a
funny.
mile a minute.
And,
It's
you
so
know,
good.
I gave it like a star and
Yep.
some change because at its core, I think that the idea has merit of
Mhm.
like, again, the screen life watching a War of the Worlds type thing.
I'm not immediately gonna dismiss it.
Almost everything that happens after like the first minute is
Yeah.
just beyond servicing.
Yeah,
it just cannot be helped.
It's really rough.
It's a great, great.
Oh
number.
man, yeah, great. Would recommend. Definitely the worst movie I saw last year.
So yeah, the other bad movies I saw were just like, I mean, like the second worst movie on my list is a Minecraft movie,
Oh yeah,
and even then, it's like, well, I don't know, some of this kind of works, and it's not really bad enough that it's like we should all be like watching and making fun of the movie.
right.
But there's just not a lot of merit to
Yeah,
a movie like a Minecraft movie.
true.
So anyway, that was our bad movie. Lastly, for today's stream, we were just going to get on our soapbox and advocate, maybe not for our top 10, but other movies that we have something to say,
Mm-hmm.
probably positive, doesn't have to be,
Mm-hmm.
but we'd already talked a little bit about movies that were in our, that are bubbling under, just barely
Yeah.
made the cut of our top 10. I don't know what you were thinking you wanted to chat about, but
Yeah, the first movie I was thinking about, this will not surprise you, is Caught Stealing.
yeah, right.
I really, really enjoyed Caught Stealing. It was my, let's see here, number 13. Which is probably higher than it deserves to be, but I really like this movie, so whatever. I'm allowed to make my ranking whatever I want. But this movie was directed by Darren Aronofsky and written by Charlie Houston, based on his book of the same name. Stars Austin Butler and Regina King and Zoe Kravitz and my fave, Matt Smith, and Liv Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio. Burned out ex-baseball player Hank Thompson, played by Austin Butler, unexpectedly finds himself embroiled in a dangerous struggle for survival amidst the criminal underbelly of the late 1990s New York City, forced to navigate a treacherous underworld he never imagined. It is available on Netflix, or you can rent it. It did come out a while ago, so you definitely probably could find it on Blu-ray somewhere or on DVD. Not perfect by any means. Lots of flaws. But yeah, I really love the aesthetic of 90s New York City. It's a little grungy, a little dirty. I've always loved that aesthetic. So this movie was like definitely made for me. I remember us driving to the movie and me thinking my biggest worry about the movie is that I was going to see it anyway, but Matt Smith is in it. I love Matt Smith. And I was like, he is just going to be in too little of this movie. And I was right. Not surprising. He's kind of like the catalyst for what kicks off the movie. So he's there right at the beginning, and then he kind of comes back again partway through. But Austin Butler is the main character of the movie. So yeah, you definitely don't get as much Matt Smith as I would want there to be. I love Matt Smith. He was, of course, on Doctor Who, and he's done a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, lately he's been... he was in Morbius, and he's like basically the only thing good that I can think of to say about Morbius too. He is just like brings a levity and a humor to what he does. He's like such a great character actor. Really love him. So yeah, his character in this movie is like so English punk rock 90s. Really, really good. Great music. I can't remember the name of the band, but all of the music in this movie is from like one specific punk band from England in the 90s. I can't remember what they were called, but all of their music was great. I never heard of them before this movie, but they were great. The soundtrack was amazing for the movie.
It was Idols.
Idol, thank you. But yeah, it's got good humor, good drama. It's got a great pace to it. Several good twists that I personally did not see coming as I'm watching the movie. Or maybe you see them like right before they're about to happen, but they definitely don't telegraph them like way beforehand, which I appreciate in a movie like this. And yeah, it just looked great. Everything's a little grungy, a little dirty, but there's still humor. You're like rooting for Austin Butler the whole time. I really, really loved Caught Stealing. Walked out of the movie and was like, well, wasn't perfect. I wouldn't blame anybody who thought it wasn't that great, but for me, this movie was like pitch perfect. I really, really liked Caught Stealing. So I would definitely recommend it, especially again if you like that grungy aesthetic, if you like, like a, I don't even know how I would describe it, but yeah, like action, crisscrossing storylines, betrayal, all that kinds of stuff. It's really good, very funny, very clever. Just not like firing on all cylinders. I've definitely got some nits to pick with it and some holes that are like,
Yeah.
that stop it short from being like amazing. But for me, it was really, really good. I liked Darren Aronofsky's eye in this movie. I just felt like he had a really good eye for the style. But it is a little style over substance sometimes, which is probably its biggest flaw.
Yeah, I was pleased with it. It was number 32 on my list.
Whoa.
I liked it. I didn't really felt like I had much to say about it when I
Sure.
left.
Yeah.
But a lot of it did work pretty well. And like you said, definitely the setting is well realized. And certainly, yeah, lots of unexpected plot twists. Wikipedia described it as a crime thriller.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
I've seen better crime thrillers,
I agree.
but it's still
Even better crime thrillers set in the 90s in New York. You know, like it's not a unique setting or time period. Some of the pieces of it are just like it's not as special as I want them to be.
also in terms of Darren Aronofsky movies. This is like his least.
Very tame.
Yeah, it's not. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and a lot of it is like, yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Or
Goes like
high octane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a lot more grounded and normal for me.
Yep.
So
And I guess maybe it's because it's based on somebody else's book.
Sure.
Again, he didn't write it. He's just directing it. So it does go kind of crazy, a little off the rails, but ultimately it's very grounded, very realistic, set in real world. It doesn't really ever take that leap that I feel like a lot of those movies do at the end where they kind of like jump off the deep end into like
yeah.
total insanity.
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about Materialists. This movie was also pretty high up on my list. It was number 12 for me last year.
My number 17.
Okay. So this movie is the latest movie from Celine Song, written and directed by Celine Song. It stars Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. A young, ambitious New York City matchmaker finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. This movie is on HBO Max, or it's available to rent. It's been out since the beginning of last year, so you might also be able to find it at the local library. And yeah, there are like two big flaws that this movie has.
Yep.
The first one is Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, the first name.
She's the main star and the leading lady of the movie. And she has never really worked for me.
Mhm.
And in this movie, there are just a lot of scenes where I'm like, I don't really know if I'm feeling anything watching your performance. The other thing is New York City matchmaker. It almost feels like a made-up job.
Yeah.
It feels like something you'd have like a sitcom written around.
Yeah.
But like in reality, how are you making a living?
Yeah.
And I know she's like, they're going after these like kind of high net worth clients basically. But yeah, I don't know. Those two things are big barriers for me to enjoy this movie, and yet it was number 12 on my list.
Yeah.
And yet I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
Celine Song just recently did Past Lives.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yep.
And made a showing at the Oscars. It was her first movie, a big breakout hit for Celine Song. This was fun because it had more big names in it.
Mhm.
Chris Evans, I love him.
Yep.
And was really excited to see him in a role like this.
Mhm.
And him versus Pedro Pascal, the poster of the three of them at that wedding party, that was the first thing I saw of the movie when they had announced that they were making it. I was like, oh, all right, let's go. I'm excited. And yeah, I don't know, man. Celine Song just writes a damn good script
Yeah.
about love and romance. That it made me really enjoy the movie outside of the Dakota Johnson-ness and the New York City matchmaker stuff. Seeing, Chris Evans in his like ratty apartment.
Yes.
And especially just the way that it ends, the credits rolling, and seeing all these people in love. It was really neat. So just wanted to give a shout out. It was a good watch. And in spite of those barriers, I had a great time, and it
Yeah.
almost made my top 10.
Yeah.
But definitely a standout for me from last year.
For sure, for sure. I agree. I do remember walking out of that movie and being like, at the time that we saw it, I was like, I think that might have been the best movie I've seen all year. And I still like it quite a bit. But yes, the Dakota Johnson-ness of it. Oh my God, this woman cannot act. And it's funny because
it's
true.
True. It feels
like she is like one of the worst Nepo babies I can think of. Like, I don't know how she gets any roles, except that she is like insanely beautiful and comes from a very famous family, but she cannot act. She's so bad. And it's funny because there's literally a conversation in the movie where her and Chris Evans are talking about how they both used to be like in like an acting troupe or whatever for like theater performers. And he like stuck with that, and she decided to go get like a real job, which matchmaker in New York City, that's your real job. But aside from that, and he was like, "Oh, that's too bad because you were always the good one." And I'm like, "Are we looking at
suspension of disbelief and
shattered?" She's like sitting in a bar, and I'm like, "This woman is giving me the most wooden performance I've seen in my life." So it's insane to see two of the most attractive men I can imagine just like fall over themselves to like be with her, and it's like, dude, what?
Pretty.
And she is, but oh my gosh. So some of that stuff is like, definitely suspending my disbelief a little too much, just because she is so annoying. But yeah, great looking movie. Again, great costuming, great production design. All the sets and everywhere that they go looks amazing. Of course, her like apartment and the office of the matchmaker are just like immaculate. They look so good, and the scene at the wedding, I can't remember if that like opens the movie, but where like the bridesmaids come out and find her, and then they're all like walking through the door for the bride. That stuff is like choreographed so beautifully. It's shot amazingly. Celine Song killing it. That stuff is incredible. But then anytime she like opens her mouth to speak, I'm like, oh right, this sucks.
But yeah,
it was a fun movie. Definitely worth a watch. But not perfect by any means, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you have anything else you want to chat about?
Yes, I think my final maybe shout out. We'll see. This is probably, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else that I like really want to talk about.
I have several more that I'll advocate quickly for, but
yeah, another one that I really loved that did not crack my top 10. Again, a movie that was not perfect, but because I value humor so much, loved Friendship.
Yeah.
That movie was so funny, written and directed by Andrew DeYoung, starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, Kate Mara, and Jack Dylan Glazer. All four of those people are so good. Love Tim Robinson, love Paul Rudd, Kate Mara, great, and Jack Dylan Glazer has his role is also very funny in this movie. And all four of them are just so funny. And when you get all four of them together, like it's really just, I don't know, man. It was firing on all cylinders. I feel like the biggest complaint I hear from people about this movie. Oh, sorry, you're right. Suburban dad Craig falls hard for his charismatic new neighbor Austin, and his attempts to make an adult male friend threatens to ruin both of their lives. So yeah, and it is available on HBO Max, or you can rent it. Thank you. Yeah, the biggest complaint that I feel like I hear from most people is just that it feels like a big, long, I think you should leave sketch. And I'm like, dude, that's all I'm looking for. I love I think you should leave. Perfect. Give me a whole movie that's just like, and obviously, the other thing to point out is that this movie was written and directed by Andrew DeYoung. Tim Robinson didn't he just stars in it, right? But because it's kind of absurdist, people equate it with I think you should leave, but really
Andrew DeYoung,
no connection.
He's never written for the show or had anything to do with it. Interesting that it otherwise does just feel like
It feels very much in line. But yeah, I Think You Should Leave. I love when you take like a normal premise and you can understand how like, oh, this small understanding would be like kind of awkward or weird, and then you just like turn the dial up on it slowly over time until finally you're just like, oh my gosh, like going crazy.
Yeah.
I was laughing really hard at this movie. Lots of great moments. Not perfect, but I definitely saw it in a packed theater and lots of other people were laughing, which I always love to hear. One thing that happens to Mark and I quite frequently is that we'll go see a movie in the theaters. And, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a comedy, but we'll just be going to see any movie and we will be the only ones laughing at funny moments in the movie.
Yep.
And, you know, part of that is that some people just they aren't interested in like expressing, you know, they'll like twirl themselves or maybe make like a you know, they don't want to like laugh out loud. But I have no qualms about laughing out loud if I find something funny enough, you know?
I wish I could remember what movie it was, but sometime recently I watched a movie, and when it ended, the woman sitting next to me got up and she turned to me and she said, "I just want to say thank you for making me feel comfortable
Yes, what
laughing
is
at
that?
the
I
movie."
do remember that
I was like,
though.
"Wow. Yeah, sure."
Right? Is that Good Fortune? I can't remember.
No.
But I do remember that happening. But yeah, Friendship was weird and absurd and goes in all kinds of crazy ways and places. And I really found it just so funny, so enjoyable. The performances from everybody were a real treat. And yeah, just every other scene just was making me laugh. So many little pieces of it. The fact that Tim Robinson like pays his wife no mind. Other guys are like constantly showing up and talking about how amazing she is and how beautiful she is. And all he cares about is that like she finds them funny and not him. He's like so obsessed with being friends with Paul Rudd's character that like consumes his whole life. His son is like totally dysfunctional and he just like glazes over it. He like doesn't even notice. Oh yeah, just a really, really funny movie, Friendship, for me. If you don't like the kind of absurdist, I think you should leave humor. I think it's still worth watching, but there's a chance you won't enjoy it, and I wouldn't blame you for that. But yeah, just really, really funny. I just love a good comedy that can just really make me laugh. And I felt like this one was just so good. It takes a great premise. It is, you know, as I feel like a lot of people talk about, it's hard to make friends when you're an adult. You know, you become an adult and you don't go to school anymore. Where are you supposed to meet new people? At work? Okay, you go to work and you don't like those people. Okay, there's like a new neighbor that moves in and you think they look cool and it's like, oh gosh, I want to be their friend so badly. How do I like make a good first impression? And then you kind of screw up your good first impression. And then you're like desperately trying to like fix your first impression and you just like dig yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole. And that's like basically what this whole movie is.
Right.
And it's just so funny to watch, like kind of a realistic, but also at the same time, like, why would you act that way? You know, you get to live vicariously through him, you know?
Yeah.
See somebody make like all the wrong choices, but also you're like, but I get why he keeps like making the wrong choice. He's just trying so hard that he like can't quite figure out why it's not working. Yeah, really loved Friendship. Thought it was very funny.
Yeah, Paul Rudd it's hilarious. He's like basically his Anchorman character.
Yes.
Just in a different movie. And also Drake's beloved, Connor O'Malley, who has...
The scene is so funny.
He's barely in the movie, and he has some of the funniest lines in the whole movie.
Yes.
It was a good one. Yeah, I was hoping for more. I was hoping for a more substantive movie, but it was very funny, and I think You Should Leave and Tim Robinson, so I had a good time.
Yep.
Okay, what else do I want to mention? I really quickly want to talk about It Was Just an Accident.
Oh, yes.
This movie, it's written and directed by Jafar Panahi, starring Vahid Mobaseri and Miriam Afshari, but all of the people in this movie are like first-time actors, friends of Jafar Panahi's. An unassuming mechanic is reminded of his time in an Iranian prison where he encounters a man he suspects to be his sadistic jailhouse captor. Nominated for Best Original Screenplay as well as Best International Feature at the Oscars this year. And it is available to rent anywhere on the internet. It came out, I want to say, a couple months ago, a few months ago. So I don't know if it's library material yet, But yeah, as it implies, it's an Iranian movie, and not just about Iran, but it was shot covertly in
Mhm.
Iran, which has a very brutal regime over there that are not they don't allow any kind of dissent,
Mhm.
especially in the arts. And Jafar Panahi, he's made a bunch of movies. I haven't seen any of them,
Yeah.
but this seems to be his most like palatable, accessible
Yeah.
movie. And I liked it. I had some qualms. It didn't like blow me away, but given the circumstances of how it was made, that they shot it like on the streets without people really knowing what it was for, that they were able to like edit and get this movie out of the
Mhm.
country, knowing that like a lot of these people are basically going to be blackballed or maybe kept in prison in Iran for being a part of the production. It was a pretty impressive effort considering it's a pretty solid movie.
Mhm.
And again, we saw this movie before things took an even worse turn in Iran recently.
Yep.
So it kind of underlines the need, the value of the movie. But yeah, again, I also really like the message that the
Mhm.
movie has, and I don't want to spoil too much of it because I think it's worth watching, and it's a neat nut to crack. But ultimately, it's all about uh, the lengths that you go to for revenge and whether revenge is worth it.
Yeah.
And it's made by people who have, I think, a real tangible connection
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
the atrocities and things that the characters in the movie have a familiarity with versus a lot of I would say movies in our culture which are more just made for fun,
Mhm.
and they
Mhm.
deal with revenge, but more just because they're interesting topics to toy with, and people might have some connection to those themes in their personal lives, but this felt, just much more personal to the people who made this movie.
Mhm.
And so, all that being said, it was really impressive, even though it's not necessarily in my top 10 of the year.
Yeah.
It was still like a really neat, impressive movie given all those circumstances. And like I said, very accessible, very palatable
Uh-huh.
movie that just anybody can watch. Of course, it's not in English. You'll have
Right.
to watch it with subtitles. It was, it was really good.
Yeah. I think it was my number 14 movie of the year, so just outside of my top 10.
Yeah. 14 for me too.
Yo, twins. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, very interesting to explore the idea of if you're not sure who someone is, what lengths would you go to exact revenge on that person? And the more yeah, right. The more people that you draw in, he starts going to other friends. Do you recognize this guy? Do you think this is the guy? Do you remember when this happened to us? Do you remember what that guy looks like? Okay, now look at this guy. Do you think that's him? I think it might be him, but I'm not sure. And then it's just like all of them like bickering about whether or not it's him. And then what do you do once you've decided whether it is or isn't him? And it was really, really electric, really good. A great little movie.
Yeah.
And cool to see a movie like that is just so clearly important. I was reading that Jafar has been imprisoned several times previous to this for other movies that he's made for speaking out against the government. He didn't get permission from the government to make this movie. Obviously, they would not have approved it probably. So they made this movie kind of guerrilla style almost. And then I think you said that this was one of those that like they were coming to arrest him, and he like got word like a day before they were going to show up, and he was like, all right, we got to get out of the country right now.
Yeah.
And they showed up to Cannes like with a flash drive with the movie on it, and we're like, you guys got to see this. So like that kind of stuff is crazy. It feels like that kind of stuff doesn't happen in the modern day, and yet it still definitely does, And so it's important to not only give those people a platform to like share their very real atrocities, but to like live inside those emotions with them so that you can like really understand how they feel and how they operate, and
Yeah.
let those people tell their own stories. Like you said, lots of American Hollywood movies will tell you about revenge, but not from their own personal experience, just because it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
But instead, this is like very personal, very realistic. Maybe not specifically to him, although maybe it is to him, but also just like to people like him, to people in his world, And I think that stuff is really cool. Again, I love international movies, love a good foreign language movie. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was just an accident a lot.
Okay. Let's talk about a movie that I think is going to be in a lot of other people's top 10s and doesn't seem to be anywhere in our top movies of the year.
Ooh, I gotta guess. Well, yes, you already pulled it up. But I gotta guess anyway.
And I thought I definitely had some pictures for this, but I can't seem to find them now. I only have the
behind the scenes.
The behind the scenes.
Okay.
So let's take a look at some of the behind the scenes. Let's talk about Weapons.
Weapons, written and directed by Zach Krager, starring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. When all but one child from the same class mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearances. And it is nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Amy Madigan, correct? And it is available to watch on HBO Max, or you could rent it. It did come out a little while ago, so it should be pretty readily available, I would think, at your local library. But yeah, you can also watch it on HBO Max if you have access to that. And yeah, this movie was all over for a while there. People were crazy about it.
Yeah, I did not get the hype.
Yeah.
I watched the movie. It's not really in my wheelhouse. I don't really care for horror movies that much.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy being scared.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are some horror movies that, in spite of that, are interesting or worth watching.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna brave it, and I'm gonna go. I remember the day I was like, hey, it's showing at the Dolby Cinema.
Yeah.
We should go check it out. This is the one weekend we'll get a chance to see it. And for horror movies like this, they'll usually only show them like at one time a day on that screen. And I'm thinking, I've heard so many people talking all about it. It's from Zach Krager, who's from Whitest Kids You Know.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a bunch of their skits when I was younger and I enjoyed them. But this is a horror movie. And he did Barbarian a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And people also really enjoyed that.
Yep.
And you were not feeling good that day.
Yeah,
and
I kind of remember that.
For like looking at you like, well, do you don't have to go, but do you want to? And you're like, no, I'll pull myself together and make it happen. And then the movie ended and I was like, I don't really know why I sacrificed my time to go see that. I don't know why I dragged my wife out of her comfort zone at home to go see this. And I did a ton of reading, so many reviews.
Yeah.
People talking about the movie to try and wrap my head around what is it about this movie that has people going gaga. I don't have anything like bad to say about it.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to say about it.
Right.
I just feel like I don't know. I didn't find it very interesting. I didn't really like enjoy it that much, but I know I'm like the odd one out. So that's kind of my hot take. That Weapons is I don't even know if it's in the top half of my movies I saw. It's number 37 on my list. It's pretty low.
It is number 30? That feels kind of high, but
Amy Madigan for Best Supporting Actress. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
She was transformed into that role.
Sure.
And, it's always nice to see a genre movie like this get a nomination in such a high up category like Best Supporting Actress. Is she gonna win? Probably not.
Probably not.
But it's neat.
What do they say? It's an honor to be nominated.
Right.
We'll get a movie soon. It's coming. Don't worry.
My understanding really is just that if you like horror movies, then you're tired of seeing like statement movies that are like trying really hard to like say something.
Yeah.
That's like constructed as a horror movie, and so people really liked that this movie didn't do that. But instead, I just walked away just thinking like, what was the point of that movie?
Yeah.
Why did I see that?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not to say, like, I don't know. I guess I'm not tired of statement horror movies, but I'm not really watching them all that often anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Can't really say horror is a genre that I enjoy watching most of the time. Yes,
They're more tragedies.
maybe. Who's to say? Maybe if they put a vampire in weapons.
That was what it was missing. So
Witchcraft?
those kids could have lived forever.
Vampires. Keep that in line, Zach Krager.
And the other thing I have to say, unfortunately, is that there are some comedy moments that I didn't find myself laughing at.
Yeah.
That's a problem when, like you said, we're like frequently the only people laughing at the theater. Now, some of them came later in the movie where I felt like I was already off the train.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I was kind of disappointed that everybody rah-rahed over the movie, and then I went and saw it, and I was like, I feel like I'm out of the loop. I feel like I don't even understand. And I don't want to call it like a crisis, but I was like frantically like reading,
trying to understand. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Amy Madigan was good. For me, the two bright spots in this movie are Alden Ehrenreich, one of my favorite actors. Love Alden Ehrenreich. He's been in a lot of stuff. And after his, we'll call it tumultuous time with Solo, A Star Wars Story, poor guy, kind of been in a bit of a spiral. But he was pretty good in this, and I didn't know he was going to be in this movie before I saw it, so he showed up, and I was so excited. I love Alden Ehrenreich. And yeah, he's good. He's funny. He's good. I mean, ACAB, but he's good. And also
kind of a despicable character.
Yes, he is. And right, he's kind of a piece of shit, right? Like, he, does a bunch of stuff that I'm like, wow, you suck. And Benedict Wong. I love Benedict Wong. When he shows up and stuff, I do love that. And he has some great, like, really overacting moments that I felt like were pretty good in the movie.
Yep.
But yeah, most of the time. And I like a movie that, I don't feel like this is a spoiler, but a movie that, like, shows you, like, one character's perspective up to a specific point, and then you go back to the beginning of the story, and now you rewatch everything from a different character's perspective. I think that stuff is really interesting. It gives you like a really fleshed out world, makes you feel like you really understand all of the angles. So that stuff was cool. And again, I wasn't expecting that when I went into the movie. I didn't know anything about it before I saw it. So that was fun to get to see. Yeah, all of this stuff happened, and then you rewatch it from a different perspective, and you're like, oh, okay, so that's what was happening when this. Okay, that's interesting, whatever. So some of that stuff was fun, but yeah, I got out of the movie, and I was like, I just don't really get the hype. It's just not really for me. It was fine, but I was not that crazy about it.
Yeah, a lot of character choices I did not understand, and then, like you said, when you show them from different perspectives, it did not elucidate anything. When they showed the second. They have the title card come up where we're going to see another character's perspective. I'm like, oh, okay. And then by the time the third one comes up, I'm like, no, not going to show anything that I need to see.
And again, no spoilers, but the very like ending of the movie where it's supposed to where it goes from like scary to like absurdist, I was like, I don't know, I'm already kind of out of it at this point. Like I'm already kind of not really sold by this, so. That didn't really win me back any points, but yeah, it was a big hit for a lot of people. So if that, sounds interesting to you, I would recommend checking it out because it was a huge hit with a lot of people, but just not really for us.
Okay. One other one I want to talk about.
That's perfect. That's the last one I was going to mention.
Okay.
I agree.
I have a couple others beyond this that I just really quickly want to say. To go through the whole song and dance for each of them, but this one I on the flip side of weapons, I do want to talk about Mickey 17.
Yep.
Mickey 17, written and directed by Bong Joon-ho, based on the book Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. It stars Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, and Toni Collette. Unlikely hero Mickey Barnes finds himself in the extraordinary circumstance of working for an employer who demands the ultimate commitment to the job, to die for a living. Available on Amazon Prime, HBO Max, or to rent. And again, it came out early last year, so if you wanted to go grab this from the library, I think it'd also be available. I liked this movie.
Yeah.
And I hear like a lot of like vehement hatred. For
Yeah, right.
Just like I don't know. I
Oh,
guess
it wasn't for me, but like people that are like, I hated this movie. I'm so disappointed in this movie.
This was number 15 for me last year. It is flawed.
Yeah.
I do like there are a couple things I don't care for. I feel like I love Mark Ruffalo and he's giving like a really hammy performance in this.
Yeah.
But it is so clearly Donald Trump coded.
Yeah.
And they even have like red hats and everything.
Yeah. That's a bit much.
And, like, yeah, it's too extra for me.
Yeah.
And especially when you ask them in interviews and they say, "Oh, we weren't thinking of anybody in particular."
Yeah.
Really, man? Are you like seriously trying to pull the wool?
Yeah.
Stuff is like I said, just a little extra. But beyond that, I still really enjoyed him and Toni Collette as these like two crazy, politicians on the outs, basically. That they're like so derided that they've like shot off into space and they're like, we're gonna make our own like utopian colony, and they're like doing a bad job, basically. Like we said earlier, love Robert Pattinson so much. He is always picking so many interesting projects. He is always giving so many great performances, and I was so excited to see him in this movie. He puts on a voice in this movie.
Yes.
I liked it. I liked the choice.
Yep.
I heard that he put on a voice that was so extra that Bong Joon-ho was like, tone it down.
Yeah.
And that's what we got in the movie is like the toned down version. But yeah, I don't know. I still had a great time. I liked the concept. I liked Robert Pattinson in it. I liked the humor of it. The final act is a little shaky, but I don't know. I still left the movie still just thinking about like the set design, the ship that they live in, and yeah, some of the characters and just really a lot of the actors' fun performances. Stephen Yeun is great. Like I said, Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette are a lot of fun. Everybody in the movie is just a good time. I didn't love the movie so much that I'm like gonna like go to bat for like I'm like passionate about it. But I was really surprised to see by the end of the year people were like, dude, that sucked.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
I did not.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
I'm a Robert Pattinson apologist, and I love him in everything and anything. I will watch him forever. And yeah, he was great in this. And yeah, I remember walking out of the movie and just thinking about Toni Collette's character. I found her so delightful. Her obsession with sauces just cracked me up. And again, I saw so many people that were like, that was stupid. No, I thought it was like so funny. It was just absolutely cracking me up the way that she's trying to like bring refined society to all of these like plebeians underneath her. And she's like totally missing the mark every single time. Oh, man. Very, very funny. The dinner, yes. I was just thinking of it. A riot, yes. Oh, my gosh. So funny. And yeah, getting to see, again, not as strongly as Michael B. Jordan, but getting to see Robert Pattinson play against himself in a couple of scenes where, this isn't a spoiler because they put it in the trailer, but like there is, basically he like volunteers to have his body like saved, his like DNA, his makeup, so they can like reprint him over and over again. And every time he dies, they just print a new version of him and they send him out to do like all the worst jobs. And so that it doesn't matter what happens to him. He's like totally disposable. And one time they like leave him for dead and then he manages to like come back still alive, but they've already reprinted a new version of him. So now there's two of them and there's not allowed to be. So they have to figure out like what are they going to do. And the one version of him, is this like really wimpy, again, I think he said that his original voice was very Ren and Stimpy inspired. And it's very weaselly and like he's such like a just like the worst loser guy you can imagine, so whiny. And then the second version of him is like tough and kind of crass and not very kind, and getting to see him do both of those in the same scene to it just like a real delight. Really showed our Pats's breadth of his acting abilities, which I found very impressive throughout that movie. I really appreciated him being able to do both of those in the same film, and they both felt very real, to the character. They're like two sides of the same guy.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun. I definitely really enjoyed it. And yeah, I was surprised that by the end of the year, people were talking about it like it was so awful. I was like, I really don't feel that way about it. So I would recommend it if you like kind of a fun sci-fi with like a little bit of a funny, a little crass maybe is the word I would use. But I thought it was very funny and very entertaining.
Yeah.
So would recommend.
Anything else you got to advocate for? Otherwise, I'm going to rapid fire do some.
No, you go for it. I don't think so.
Okay. I love animated movies.
Oh yeah.
And we did get to see a couple last year. Both of these are nominated for Best Animated Feature. K-pop Demon Hunters we saw last year. It's kind of the hit animated movie of the year. Directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Applehans. Written by Maggie Kang, Chris Applehans, Hannah McMahon, and Danya Jimenez. Starring Arden Cho, Mei Hong, Ji Young Hoo, An Hyo Shop, Hyunjin Kim, and Ken Jeong. When K-pop superstars Rumi, Mira, and Zoe aren't selling out stadiums, they're using their secret powers to protect their fans from supernatural threats. This movie is nominated for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song this year, and is available on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. And yeah, it is this year's. I'm trying. It's basically the Frozen of the current zeitgeist.
Yep.
Kids are obsessively watching it. It's like become the most watched movie on Netflix, whether that's the number of people who have watched it or the number of minutes it's been watched. No matter which metric you use, it's far and away the most watched ever on Netflix. And yeah, it is very tropey.
Yeah.
It is like not really doing that much novel. Nothing that like I was, that I felt like was fresh or that I had seen for the first time. Mm-hmm. But damn, it worked.
Yeah.
Honestly, like a lot of it worked when they have their, because as we talked about, I love musicals. I like some good choreography. As Drake says, that finally actually watched that and had the song stuck in my head for a minute. Definitely. I mean, we were literally out to eat the other day, and it wasn't even Golden that came on, but came on, which is pretty neat to see. It's not often that you see a movie where the songs featured in it are just coming on pop radio. Yeah. But specifically, I was thinking the duet that the characters have, their little romance, and they're kind of expressing their feelings to each other as they're jumping around on the rooftops in the movie.
Yeah.
That to me was like a whoa. This is like really working.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the movie. We're getting into like the expository kind of dialogue type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's working. But like I said, it's still, kind of by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is kind of what you'd expect. So I'm not out here being like, this is the best movie of the year, but damn, it worked in spite of its tropiness.
Yeah.
The songs are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very memorable and very good, and that's the lifeblood of a movie like this. Some good stylistic animation. We've seen that a lot from Sony Pictures recently. I'm thinking of like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is another one that was very popular a few years ago from them. No, wait. No, that's DreamWorks, actually. Yeah. That's right. That's DreamWorks. This is Sony. Sony Pictures, they're doing like Hotel Transylvania, but they're also doing all the Spider-Man movies, which are also very stylistic. And I think really started the kind of craze of the like half-rate animation style. Very comic booky for those movies. But this more leans into kind of the anime genre.
Right.
And I think it works well for that too. So yeah, it was a delightful little movie. Again, I was very lucky to get to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
They had like a weekend run, Netflix did, where it was like a sing along version of the movie, and so we picked like a showtime in like the middle of the night where no
Yeah.
one would be there to sing along. But we got to see it on the big screen, even though it was a Netflix movie, and it was awesome. And it was fun to see it well after, months after it had come out and it had already become such a phenomenon. So I already had that in the back of my head, seeing it, but getting to watch it for the first time, I'm like, wow, this is working.
Yeah.
This is good. So, it's worth checking out if you're looking for an animated movie, especially one with some good music. And yeah, just the opening of the two like superstar rock stars who are like flying on a jet over the venue.
Yes.
They beat up the bad guys and then they like rocket down into the venue.
Parachute out. Oh my god. Yep. It's so good.
It's fun to watch a movie like that and be like, okay, I can see why everybody is obsessed with this. Meanwhile, Netflix completely unprepared. Flummoxed by this.
Doing that. Like, how do they not? I don't know. Like, I understand not being like aware that it's going to be the phenomenon, but how are they like so caught off guard that they like can't get anything going?
Yeah.
They like have no idea what they're sitting on. Yeah. It's like what every kid dressed up for is Halloween, and you couldn't get something off the ground before Christmas. Like, are you kidding me? That feels pathetic.
Okay, so that was my number 16 movie of the year. Number 17 is another animated movie from last year that everybody dogged on, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think enough people saw it to dog on it as often as it has been dogged on. All right, I saw Elio last year. It is the latest Pixar animated feature directed by Madeline Sherifian, Adrian Molina, and Domi Shi. Written by Julia Cho, Mark Hammer, and Mike Jones, starring Zoe Saldana, Brad Garrett, and Jonas Kibrab. I think that's the kid.
Yeah, I believe so.
Elio, a space fanatic with an active animation, finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with eccentric alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who he is truly meant to be. Nominated for Best Animated Feature, it's available on Disney Plus or to rent. Oh, sorry, I gotta get my mic closer. It's on Disney Plus, but this is the thing, dude. With Disney movies like this, there are movies that are exclusive to. There are movies that are available on Disney Plus, but they're not exclusive. So if you don't have Disney Plus, you can still go rent or buy this movie.
Yeah.
But if you have Disney Plus, it's easier to see. Anyway, Elio. I had a great time watching this movie. It's not the best Pixar movie I've seen. It didn't blow me away.
Sure.
I don't really understand why everybody's joking about it. To me, I feel like this is indicative of something I see all the time, especially in the video game space, which I also spend a bunch of time on, which is when you start to sniff a failure, then everybody is so excited to dogpile on it. This movie, like a financial flop, did not make back the money that they spent on it. It was a very expensive movie. So it was a huge misfire from Pixar and from Disney's marketing department. But in terms of the actual like substance, the quality of the movie, I don't really have that many complaints. Some of the stuff in the movie didn't really work for me, but in terms of a cosmic misadventure, I had fun. You know, the other like kid alien that he spends the whole movie with, he cracked me up.
Is a riot. Talk about a riot. Love him.
The movie does do like the kind of classic Pixar tugging at the heartstrings a little bit, but I didn't feel like it was like excessive in this movie the way that it is maybe in some other movies. I feel like Elemental is a lot easier to mock for being very like distilled by the numbers Pixar style movie, and this didn't really. It's not really like that to me. Also co-directed by Domi Shi, who I love from Turning Red.
Yes.
Turning Red is like probably my favorite, most recent Pixar movie.
Oh man, I love Turning Red.
And so I love to see more from her. But yeah, just generally, I don't know. enjoyed the movie. I thought it was funny. The emotional stuff didn't work like 100%, but they're just seeing him, try to be like a puffed up, like I'm the leader of the humans guy in the face of these like big giant scary aliens, and him like kind of pulling it off. Very funny, just great little plot stuff like that. And yeah, Glordon was so good. So yeah, I would recommend it. At the very least, I don't understand why everybody's dogpiling on it, other than just like, I think Disney or sorry, Pixar has had a string of failures of movies that have not done well at the box office.
Yeah.
And people are like, all right, the golden age of Pixar is behind us.
Yeah.
We're moving on to DreamWorks or Sony Pictures type movies. They're looking for something different. And I get that. And again, you can see it at the box office. People are not paying money to go see it.
Yeah.
But in terms of the quality of the movie, I don't really understand why people have a bone to pick with it, if anything, other than just they didn't see it. And maybe that's what it really is that they just they haven't heard of it. They don't know anybody who's advocating for it. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm advocating.
You got to go see Elio.
Have a good time. It's not going to be in your top 10 like me, but it'll be in your top 20.
It's pretty good. Definitely would recommend.
So, and I liked it more than Zootopia 2,
Yeah.
which was number 19 on my list. It was also good, but it's a sequel and retreads a lot of the same ground. But I had a good time. Okay, quickly, another movie that I also want to mention is The Phoenician Scheme. We also saw this last year. The Phoenician Scheme, it is the latest movie from Wes Anderson, written and directed by Wes Anderson. It stars Benicio del Toro, Mia Threepleton, Michael Cera, Ruiz Ahmed, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, lots of other folks. Wealthy businessman Zaza Korda appoints his only daughter, a nun, as sole heir to the estate. As Korda embarks on a new enterprise, they soon become the target of scheming tycoons, foreign terrorists, and determined assassins. This is available on Amazon Prime or to rent. This is another one that I feel like people are perhaps tired of Wes Anderson making the same kind of movie over and over. I am not tired of Wes Anderson.
Agreed.
I could watch anything from him.
Yep.
And I'm enjoying all the stuff that he's been making.
Yep.
And this in particular was just another great amalgamation of famous movie stars. Michael Cera in particular is like a revelation in this movie. And his like character turn is so good, so funny. Really my biggest qualm with this is just like I don't know what the Phoenician Scheme is throughout the movie, and by the end of the movie, I think at this point I could kind of describe it to you. But they are frequently stopping the movie to be like, okay, this didn't work. Now they're trying this thing, and this costs this much, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's not detrimental to the movie. It's not the best Wes Anderson movie. Maybe the best Wes Anderson movie is just whichever one was the first one that you watched.
Yeah, right.
But it's good. It was still fun. I liked it. I had a great time watching it.
Great little bits in it. As we talked about, the one with Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston of them playing basketball is just like an all-timer. It's so... I don't know, man. It's just so good. It's firing on all cylinders. And yeah, Michael Cera is an absolute delight in this movie.
Yeah.
He's so good. Love Benicio del Toro. Can't stop that man, and I will not. He is so good. I really enjoyed this movie a lot for sure. And agreed. I'm definitely not tired of the Wes Anderson look, of the style, of the stories. Something I feel like we've talked about a bit this year so far is that some people feel like certain directors are, wasting their time and their talent.
Yeah.
Right? there's this idea that like James Cameron is wasting his time making these Avatar movies because they could be making something incredible. But like, newsflash, guys, James Cameron wants to make Avatar.
Yep.
That's all he wants to make. And so he's going to keep making them, and he's going to make them the best he can. So you know what? I'm here for it, Jim.
Yep.
Keep making great Avatar movies, and I will keep going to see them.
Yeah.
If all Wes Anderson wants to make is movies that look like this, keep making them, man. I'm not going to tell you that you're wasting, like, you're choose what you do. And I know that, like, I think it comes from a place of meaning well, but it just, to me, seems to misunderstand, like, what is the point of these artists? Like, I'm not here to tell any artists that like they should change their style and do something different just because I'm tired of seeing it. Like if they have more to tell in that style, then they should keep telling it.
Yeah.
Like I don't need you to change it just because you've already done it before. Like I don't know.
It's always just like a grass was greener thing.
Right.
You know, it's always just like I didn't like this and I imagine a better thing that they could have made.
Done something else, and it's like, okay, but this is where they wanted to be.
I don't
know
if we ever would have gotten that.
Right.
So
Just try to enjoy it.
yeah.
I
agree.
But I do find that kind of annoying. I try not to let it bother me too much because it doesn't really matter. But when I hear it like repeated over and over again, it's like, man, I just feel like it misunderstands the point of all of this. So I quite enjoyed the Phoenician Scheme myself. And I definitely found it confusing while I was watching the movie, but at the end of the movie, I felt like I understood what the Phoenician Scheme was. So
you watch the movie and tell us what you think the Phoenician Scheme was.
Let us know.
Comments down
Tell me your thoughts. Would you have bought in on the Phoenician Scheme? I would have. Get in on the ground floor, baby.
Would you have nailed that 3-pointer? Beat Tom Hanks at his own game? What college are you playing for?
Oh, good question.
Okay, let's end on a bad note. I always like to end on a bad note. I don't know about you.
Yeah, did you see that fight with Ares last week? That was my best Kratos.
That was pretty good.
Like, oh, that was good. I couldn't hear my voice low enough.
I'm not going to be able to talk anymore.
He really...
This is it.
Shaking fist at the sky.
I want to talk about Mission Impossible.
Yo, all right. Here we go.
I want to talk about Mission Impossible. First of all, these are the only 2 images that I could get.
Oh, my God.
They're not great, but it's very funny. I want to talk about Mission Impossible because we have a passion for Mission Impossible.
Oh, it's true.
And we are not passionate about this movie.
True.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, directed by Christopher McQuarrie, written by Christopher McQuarrie and Eric Jendresen, starring Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Esau Morales, Ethan Hunt, and team continue their search for the terrifying AI known as the Entity, which has infiltrated intelligence networks all over the globe, with the world's governments and a mysterious ghost from Hunt's past on their tail. Joined by new allies and armed with the means to shut the Entity down for good, Hunt is in a race against time to prevent the world as we know it from changing forever. Available on Paramount Plus or to rent. Okay, so here's the thing. Mission Impossible has had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 1, great movie.
High up.
Mission Impossible 2, one of the worst.
Low down.
movies in my
It's so low, it's below the camera. You can't even see how low it is.
Mission
Just an example for you.
fairly better.
A little bit higher. Put it in
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, great movie from my favorite director, Brad Bird, of Incredibles fame.
Historically significant Incredibles.
Then afterwards, Tom Cruise found the Christopher McQuarrie connection. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation.
Yep.
And then Mission Impossible Fallout. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Reloading the gun. Mission Impossible Fallout is like a 9 out of 10 movie.
Yeah,
That
right?
is
Agreed.
best Mission Impossible. It combines everything good about all the previous ones, and a lot of the previous ones are pretty good, but Mission Impossible Fallout, like, it raised the bar so high.
Mm-hmm.
That is a phenomenal movie. I would recommend that to anybody. If you are looking for an action movie to watch, Mission Impossible Fallout. It's great. It's one of the great action movies of the last like 10, 20 years, I feel like.
Yep.
So afterwards, they say, all right, we're going to end the franchise with the big two-parter movie, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I can't remember if did they split it in half originally, or did they announce that later? But we got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Part 1.
And then they got Cold
Too
Feet.
many
And
colons.
the second one
Too many colons.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
That's so lame. At least stick to your guns. Like, oh my gosh.
And we watched Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1
Uh-huh.
and walked out lukewarm.
Yep.
I was a little disappointed. I felt like it felt like a Part 1, you know?
Yeah. And especially, again, coming after Fallout.
Right.
So incredible. It's like, oh, well, just kind of dropped a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we were all definitely a little disappointed. And then
Moving in was like a lot of hype. We
Yeah.
were so excited.
yeah, I was like, this is going to be great
Yeah.
because Fallout was great and Dead Reckoning was good. Or I'm sorry, Rogue Nation, the one before Fallout, was also really good. And Ghost Protocol before that was good, and even 3 was good.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way up to the Dead Reckoning Part 1,
Mhm.
it was disappointing. But hey, it's a Part 1, and we're gonna get Part 2, and maybe that'll like tie up all the knots or whatever. And we were wrong.
Well, and it's funny, yeah. So we walked out of Dead Reckoning Part 1 from the theater, and we were like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
okay. And then when the Final Reckoning came out, we were like, oh, we should rewatch. Because it definitely ends on like a cliffhanger, right? It's a Part 1 and a Part 2. So we rewatched Dead Reckoning, and I was like, you know what? This movie is actually better than I gave it credit for the first time. This is actually pretty good. Maybe Final Reckoning will end strong. It'll bring everything back together.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh man, we rewatched it literally. We were going to see it at I don't know, a 9 or 10 p.m. showtime on a Friday, I'm pretty sure. So we got home. I got home from work, and we were like, okay, we have enough time to put on Dead Reckoning Part 1, and we can watch it right before we leave. So we watched it, and we were pleasantly surprised by how much more we enjoyed it. And then we would see the Final Reckoning, and I was like, man, not a good ending.
So,
it was really disappointing.
First of all, the set pieces. It's always kind of the big part of these movies. What are the action set pieces? In Dead Reckoning Part 1, they have this train sequence, which was all right. Not mind-blowing. But then in the Final Reckoning, we have this submarine thing. There, he goes underwater to get a hard drive out of this computer in this sunken submarine. And it is not compelling.
Yeah.
It's not exciting. The music and everything, all of the sound design is made to make it feel like this is epic. You're on the edge of your seat, right? And I was like, no, I don't really understand why this is exciting. The camera keeps tumbling around to show the submarine rolling around, and I don't know, it's just not terribly thrilling. Usually the Mission Impossible set pieces are crazy physical stunts. I'm thinking
jumping out of a window or climbing up the side of the Burj Khalifa or there's a sandstorm or something.
Yeah. He's free climbing.
Yeah, halo jumping or something, you know?
Doing that halo jump.
Yeah.
In Fallout.
Fallout, yeah.
And yeah, in this one it's well, it's not a real submarine. It's a set,
right?
And
he trained himself to hold his breath a long time.
And it is so slow in that action set.
Oh my gosh, I know. I felt like that took so long. He keeps getting jostled out of the way, and I'm like, can we just get this?
And then they contrive an excuse multiple times for him to take off his shirt.
Yeah.
Power to him. Tom Cruise, as old as he is, looks good with his shirt off, but also they're oh, he's in freezing cold water and he doesn't want to have to do this, but he has to take off his shirt for some reason. This is so stupid.
He'll have to restart his heart. He'll have 2 minutes or whatever.
And then he floats up there and he's laying his head on Haley Atwell's voluptuous breast. And it just is so transparent, and it's not working for me. And then the actual ultimate set piece is him climbing around on this biplane that the big bad is flying around. And look, it's impressive as a stunt, but especially as the ultimate, like the final giant action set piece, it was like pretty not exciting.
Yeah.
And you have all of our side characters like trying to defuse a bomb somewhere.
They're like yelling in the earpiece, and Tom Cruise is like crawling over a plane, and it's like, I don't really feel like you're trying to heighten the sense of
Right.
urgency. And as somebody watching the movie, I'm just like not feeling it. I like don't care.
The other thing is, this is the last movie, so you could kill off anybody you want to.
True.
They, first of all, again, not to spoil anything because I respect the sanctity of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm ripping on this movie. They do kill off one major side character
Mm-hmm.
very unceremoniously. It's so confusing how suddenly
Oh my
he's
God.
like, I'm sick and dying, and I'm being kept in like a covert, like underground.
Yeah, I've got like
Chamber?
a hospital bed.
It's like in a
and, like,
sewer somewhere.
monitor, but he's like in a sewer where he's been hiding out all this time with all of his tech. And he's here with a hospital bed. And he's dying.
And that's at the beginning of the movie, as if in part one he sick.
Right. There was,
Why is
no,
he in the
there was no indication.
How in this movie we walk in and suddenly he's like, I'm dying.
No, like I had to
What
leave.
happened?
I had to leave and use the bathroom really quick at this scene. So I like run out and I'm like trying to come back as quick as I can. The character dies. I guess I shouldn't keep saying he. There's not a lot of women in this movie, so
It's me.
it's a he. Haley Atwell doesn't die, so there's not a lot of other women in the movie. It's a he. He dies, and then so I like see that happens. I leave. I come back, and Ethan Hunt is talking to him again in the hospital bed, and I'm like, did they bring this guy back? Oh. No, they just like really confusingly are telling us something that happened earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
Why they didn't put it earlier in the movie before he died, couldn't tell you. Don't know. But it was kind of a confusing order.
So
That stuff was like,
all that is odd. That they do kill off a character, and it's very like awkward and unceremonious. But then in the end, all of our other side characters are defusing a bomb while Ethan Hunt is like clamoring about a biplane. And they're defusing a bomb, and I'm thinking, well, they could
mess this up.
they could fail and kill off these characters because it's the last one, except to raise the stakes as high as possible, they're defusing a nuclear bomb.
A nuclear bomb. So it
So
won't
I'm
just
like,
kill
no,
them.
it's not gonna. They're
Yep.
not gonna go off.
Actually, Ethan Hunt is going to fail this time, and the whole world's going into a nuclear winter. Goodbye, everybody. Christopher McQuarrie's like waving off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Enjoy your motion smoothing.
I just like it. It was so disappointing that
Yeah.
like the whole thing. They're like, and that's not the only nuke that they have to defuse in the
Yes.
movie. But there's more than one, and every time I'm like, well, guys, it's not.
You've actually raised the stakes too high,
It's
and
not
now
gonna go off.
and now I know you're not going to go through with this.
Right.
If it was a regular bomb, I would believe you.
Right.
But a nuclear bomb, you're literally not going to let that go off in this movie. You're just not. Like, I know that.
And there are other opportunities. It's confusing, complex, and it doesn't really matter. But those characters could have died, like from other enemies who ended
Yeah.
up doing other stuff or whatever, and they don't take
They
these
don't.
opportunities. And then they're stuck defusing the bomb for several minutes, and I'm thinking, well, okay, this.
Right?
I know it's a movie, and all of our heroes are gonna win, but this is the one time where they could raise some stakes, and have some people, and they don't. And that plus the fact that the biplane is just like not exciting enough. The guy's literally doing a halo jump like a couple
I
movies
know.
ago.
Right?
And now he's, on a, I
In
don't
the
know.
last movie, he like took a motorcycle and like jumped off the cliff on a ramp or whatever.
yeah.
And now he's like,
the whole train thing.
and now him and I can't even remember the guy's name, Gideon or whoever he is, or
Dude, he
climbing over. Oh my god, I know. It was not interesting. It was really disappointing. And man, I love these Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
I love the first one. It's one of my favorite movies, and yeah, I was quite disappointed in it. And yeah, they say it's the final reckoning. We haven't heard anything else since then.
Yeah, 3 cheers for me says final. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thinking, yeah. I'm curious. Because this was such a flop, I wouldn't be surprised if they came back and were like, okay, we're gonna.
Okay, just kidding. We're actually one more go
But
at it.
On the other hand, it does feel like they've raised the stakes so much. How
I
could they
know, what
possibly
can they
come
do
back?
now?
Tom Cruise is pretty old. You
I'm
know,
gonna go steal the knock list 2.
the knock list 2.
Knock list 2.
Yeah. The other thing
John
about
Voight's back again somehow.
with
I don't know.
these the Dead Reckoning and the Final Reckoning is that the plot is so similar to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, that's true.
It is like so similar about how like there's an AI that's like spreading like controlling the flow of information, and so different countries are like vying for control of the AI so that they can control the misinformation. And I'm like, dude, I literally was just
playing this,
it,
right?
It didn't help that I had just streamed Metal Gear Solid 2 when
Yeah.
I went to go see this movie. It is so similar, and of course it does it worse, you know.
Right.
But there's that, and then in Dead Reckoning, or I'm sorry, in the Final Reckoning specifically, there's a moment where he goes to communicate with the AI, and it's like a casket that he has to like climb into.
Yeah.
Like they find this like casket somewhere that he can like get in to communicate with the AI, and everyone tells him don't do it, and then he does it.
Of course. He's Ethan.
And I don't understand any of that. I don't understand why is it a casket? why did he get in there? What purpose he didn't get any information? He didn't like do anything.
Set piece.
None of it made any sense, and that's pretty much the whole movie.
Yeah.
So it was really disappointing considering we were really excited based on the other Christopher McQuarrie Mission Impossible.
Right?
But that was a huge letdown, probably the biggest letdown of the year.
Yeah. Had a lot of hype going to that. But I did get some cool koozies.
True.
Tom Cruise's
That's right.
Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
We were at a baseball game, and they had marketing people walking around promoting the movie, and they found us, and we're like, hey, you want to take these koozies and take a photo with us? And we were like, yes.
Yeah.
I had no idea. We're the world's biggest Mission Impossible fan.
And we're there with Mark's sister, Karen, who was in the chat earlier, and her fiance, I guess boyfriend at the time. And after we walk away, they're like, we don't want these. And I was like, oh, don't worry. I know somebody who does.
I'll tell them.
One of our other friends who also loves these movies with us. I was like, oh, he'll want this. And
Yeah.
as soon as I gave it to him, he was thrilled. So, yeah, do hold on to those. They are precious to me, but the movie itself was definitely a letdown.
So I would say, I mean, Mission Impossible is a franchise worth watching.
Yes.
The first movie is a great 90s action movie.
Oh,
The
God.
second one is John Woo, I believe,
Yeah.
and it's very of the era. It's very John Woo. Early 2000s. It's one of my least favorite of the franchise.
Agreed.
Everything after that is worth watching, and you don't really have to watch the others to enjoy most of them. But Fallout is very fun because you get characters from a lot of the previous movies to come on.
Yeah.
There is some stuff that comes together, so it was rewarding for us as fans of the franchise. But this 2-part finale did not do it.
It's true.
So,
But man, do I love the movies.
in spite of that, I love the movies. Christopher McQuarrie can't stop me.
No, we cannot.
Yeah, great year for movies, honestly.
Right? I feel like we saw some really good ones. I was very enthused.
I feel like a frequent narrative I hear from people online, which is my first mistake, is that there are no original movies, no new movies. Every movie is only IP. And that's just like not true if you actually care about movies. But people who don't really care about movies and just want to complain love to say that. So if you ever hear that, don't listen to them. There are tons of new, original, interesting movies coming out all the time. And you're not going to be like advertised them during every single football game you're watching or whatever. But if you keep your eyes open, there are a ton of really, really great movies that are coming out all the time. They are very accessible. Mark and I are privileged that we can have AMC A-List, which makes it really easy to see a lot of movies, and not to shill too heavily for a corporation. But yeah, AMC A-List is pretty sweet, and that's not the only theater chain that does it. You know, Alamo Drafthouse has a similar kind of thing, and so does Regal. I think Regal Cinemas. So you know, whatever your local theater is, there are lots of subscription almost services, but you can, you know, pay a flat rate of $20 or $25 a month, and you can go see like a ton of movies, and there's really cool stuff. And very frequently, it's the most unassuming ones that end up kind of surprising you. So, if you ever feel like there aren't any good movies anymore, nobody's making anything interesting, I would challenge you to go just see a movie you never heard of. You never know what is going to end up turning out to be really, really cool.
Yeah, it's fun for me because I think, a movie being at the theater it makes it like easier for me to go and take a chance on something.
Yep.
When it's available on streaming, man, I've got a million options.
And I've got so many old movies that I already know are good that I should be seeing, and I have new stuff. It's almost like decision paralysis. There's like too many choices. But when it's in the theater and it's like, go see it right now, okay, I'll go see it.
But that works for me. I recognize that I'm so movie crazed. I'm going to go watch 50 movies a year, and they're mostly going to be at the theater. But hey, if that means that I get to watch them all and tell you I can filter them down and share which ones are worth.
And that's why we love, getting to do stuff like this, so we can all see all the movies and then tell you what's worth seeing. And even if you only go see one of them, that would make my day. So I hope that you check out.
Make Lauren's day.
Thank you. I hope you make my day. So all kinds of cool movies came out this year. Like we said, we'll link to our letterboxed rankings for this year of all of our movies and the doobly-doo, as they say. I finally got to say it. That's my one. Thank you, John Green. So check it out. Tell us what you think. Sound off in the comments if you have any other movies that we didn't get to. Anything you saw this year you thought was cool. Lots of really great movies this year.
3 Cheers for Me asks, wait, which ones did I see?
Something in our top 10. You got to go back and listen. If I was going to recommend one movie, I guess that could be our final thought. If you were going to recommend one movie for our viewers to go out, what would you most strongly recommend they go see, Mark?
You should go see my number one because you need to have taste aligned exactly with mine.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, my two, it's hard to pick one, but One Battle After Another and Begonia are my 1 and 2.
Yep.
They're both 9 out of 10s from this last year. They're like pitch perfect without any notes really, and I found them to be very poignant, which is why I like them so much. And I think they're both very palatable movies, both very accessible.
Great. Great production value on both, great performances in both. They're fun, they're engaging, you'll have a great time. I totally agree. One Battle After Another or Begonia, both are really incredible movies. I would strongly recommend you check one of those out for sure.
Those are yours too.
I think so. Or maybe my sleeper, like I said earlier, would be Presents. I just thought that movie was so fun, so well done, so interesting. I've never really seen a movie quite like it. It's, like I said, a tight 90 minutes. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It's got an interesting story, good characters that you want to care about. And I really, really loved Presents. I think everybody should see that movie.
So that's our top 10. I'll probably add chapter markings later to make it easier to flip through when we talked about which movies. But our top 10 movies, our bottom 1 movie, and other random hot takes that we had to share.
Soapbox.
And what was it like being on the stream? It'll be you're not allowed back after this.
Oh, well, I'm going back to the chat. I'm going back to the chat after this, dude. I am made for the screen.
Yeah.
No, it's been pretty good. The hardest part is just that I don't really like talking into a microphone and not knowing what I sound like on the other end. Like, I can't hear myself. And it would be worse to, like, have that feedback. But I just am constantly worried, like, what is the volume of my voice? What does it sound like? I don't know. But no, it was fun. So thanks for having me on. Thanks for listening to us talk about movies, guys.
Agreed. Thanks for hanging out. Check out the link in the description that I'll update in just a minute with our movie rankings and reviews as well throughout last year. And definitely feel free to ask about any other movies.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, and spend any time around us at all to hear more about movies in 2026. I'm sure we'll have more.
You can't stop me. I'm going to tell you about movies. Can't do nothing about it.
And as for the Oscars, I'll probably write another post on my blog
Yeah.
about Oscar nominees and winners.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep an eye out for that as well. I'm sure I'll share that on the channel somewhere. So, but thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a good time listening to us for several hours.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Thanks for telling us
in the
when
chat.
the microphone was too far away from our face.
Thanks, Drake. Love you all.
Yeah. TTYL.
Bye.